that time.
Yeah, like I just needed to be like half conscious,
Alright.
but instead they gave me full consciousness.
We're all
which
here
is...
on time.
I didn't pay
That's
for this.
crazy. It's been a while since we last played, right? It's been like 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
2 weeks because we missed a session
You were
and I was in the
camping.
woods.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just been.
He was doing it. Cam was doing his man versus wild thing.
Yeah, with Nathan.
Nathan.
They just.
Nathan was one.
But-
My boots broke.
And then he threw down a sword at his feet and said, "On guard!" And then they engaged in battle. It's a weird trend that it's he's going through a phase, you know.
Yeah.
You ever go through like a sword phase? All the time.
Yeah.
I fucking wish.
I think Maddie is consistently in a state of going through a sword phase.
I was like, has Maddie ever
Yeah.
not been in a sword
You might need
phase?
to
I
redefine
saw
phase.
something that was like
That's
instead
my
instead
style.
of giving each other like they gave these fiancés, they gave each other rings, but they also gave
No.
each other swords, and I was like so upset. I'm like, why is this not commonplace?
Right, like
Because it made me think of
for majority of history to be considered a form of threat.
it's considered by a declaration of war by many, but in Elden Ring they gave each other swords as a sign of marriage. You got a great sword when you married the doll.
Honestly, I feel like that's preferable because I'd be stressed carrying around like a $1,000 ring on my finger.
Yeah, but like if I have a sword, yeah, if I have a sword on my back, then like you're gonna if you try to take the sword from me, I have an excuse to swing it. Is the thing. Like
Maybe not a sword.
This guy gets it.
yeah,
No, guys.
yeah. See, so you get it.
Oh, well, I guess it really is until death do us part. Like,
Yeah.
Accelerated death.
Till
Accelerate.
death, whatever that is. Do
Yeah, whenever that happens.
you have to agree that if any of you are like on your deathbed, the other one has to do the final blow.
That reminds me of that Simpson. That reminds me of that Simpson clip. That's just like, Marge, if I die during surgery, I need you to do something for me. And she's like, anything for you, homie. And he's like, if I die, burn down the hospital. And she's like, well, I did say I'd do it, so. I did say I'd do it, so what the heck?
She's a real one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true love there. Oh yeah, we're playing D&D.
Yes.
We're not used to having everyone at 10. We're used
Yeah,
to...
no, I'm used to starting later.
We just
Mr.
hang out a
Shoot the
little
shit
bit.
time.
So,
Icebreakers.
last time, you guys traveled, you established yourselves as the potential messengers, to everyone's, contentness, I suppose.
All of us.
Yes, everyone was...
TMS.
Yes.
I forget that every time.
Yeah, and then after that, you guys introduced yourself as PMS to Cardos. You met the wonderful, very imposing figure, despite his token art, Teelan, Speaker Teelan. Let me bring that on.
Oh yeah, I even drew him in my notebook so I could remember what he looked like.
That's Teelan.
He's the one that doesn't like Sam, right?
He's the one that doesn't like the rest. That wouldn't like the rest of your party. He doesn't like chaotic.
Right there, so
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't like chaotic. He doesn't like chaotic people. But
Sam is anything but chaotic.
Yes. But he tasked the only non-chaotic person, Pal, with political sabotage. For good
It's
reason.
pretty chaotic to me. Not gonna lie.
It's all a matter of
It's for the
perspective.
sake of order.
Yeah, it is for the sake of order. So, because he believes that is for the greater good to have for Margarine to have a different leader for this upcoming crisis instead of an unexperienced new person.
He said no noobs allowed.
He did express that he is okay with them retaking that position after the crisis is averted, but currently, no. He's like, we're not gonna live through this. Or it's like, it's not gonna be a great experience, I guess. And he offered some rewards and assistance, of course. offered potential solutions, including instating some the leader of the guard in Cardos. I believe they are. Let me pull my notes. What's their name again? Captain Tylo, the Harpy, who is well, actually, you guys didn't question anything about Tylo, so
I don't really remember hearing that name.
That-
Nothing more.
that was offered, and then I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. That didn't seem like the important part of the conversation. I didn't care
Sure.
enough about that person at the moment.
Sure. But other than that, currently the only one who's aware of the assignment is Pal. You guys decide to rest for the night, which let me update the calendar. So is the 26th of Pharaohs.
Also, you have to do a full long rest because I got to do my necromancy bullshit again.
Okay, fine. Let's do rest and let's do
Although-
everyone
Yeah, it'd be better to just.
I would also like to give my friend AIDS.
long rest.
Huh?
What?
Finish long rest.
Take this. Sprays you with. And then I will
I've recovered -5 hit points.
pull the boys out, do that, and then take a little hour, do that to restore that.
Okay. Very cool.
When we wake up,
Yes.
Penny is gonna probably wake up first, and
All
she's
right.
gonna spend the majority of the morning just fucking staring at Gris. Like
Sort of
not
like that thing.
standing still.
Yeah, sort of like that thing where like the kid doesn't want to wake up their parent, but they're just sort of like watching them sleep. Then, so it's like,
No, I'm watching her after she gets up. I'm watching her whole morning routine.
You're the first one awake at a sleepover.
Yeah.
You're upstairs with the parents.
I am like, and then every so often, Penny will make a very tiny note in her notebook and then go back to staring at Gris.
Do
And
I
just do
notice this?
let me look
I'm
at
not
your
hiding
passive.
it.
Let me look at your passive perception real
I
quick.
don't think it's good. I don't know what
My
it is.
passive stealth? What's my passive stealth? Because I'm not actively trying to hide.
Yeah. Let's go.
It's 12.
No, yeah, yeah, you know it's this, Chris, very easily.
Oh. I'm gonna go up to Penny and be like, "Are you okay? You're looking at me a lot, and I see you like looking at me and then looking at your notebook while writing, and it makes me think you're either drawing me or taking notes on me."
How legible is Penny's handwriting? If Grace like glances
compared
at your
to
notebook,
mine-
what is she reading?
It is. Oh god, I never actually thought about this. Part of me thinks it'd be very funny to make it illegible cursive.
It's like Russian cursive.
Yeah.
It's
That's been a
all
point of,
loops.
we've talked about before, but I always forget. Can Gris read?
And Gris read.
What I guess
yeah,
what is the
yeah, I hadn't
standard?
thought about
what
that.
is the
This
standard
is a good
literacy rate
question.
of our group? Who can read?
Pal would absolutely be able to read.
So say Pal and
Um,
Sam, I imagine.
I think
If Sam was raised in like higher household, and like that would make sense.
I think Gris can. Oops, something just fell. I think
Ugh.
Gris can read. Like probably not like good, but she is like a smuggler, so
That would
I
make,
imagine
like,
you'd have to.
that would
at
make
some
sense.
yeah,
point.
I
yeah.
think I have a below
Less of like a
average
reading, more reading for purpose
literacy.
rather than reading for actual.
Yeah,
understanding.
just for
Mhm.
clarification, Nota did come from like a tribe that was like separated
In the
from
mountains.
society in the mountains.
I read what's absolutely necessary, and that's about it. I have the standard literacy rate of like somebody maybe 3 years or 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
3 to 5 years younger than me.
Yeah. No, Nota benefits
Uh,
greatly from the accompany like little symbol that's
I
next
need-
to
I need
signs.
pictures.
I just realized I didn't take my medicine. So give me half a second. But yeah, Penny would kind of just look up at you and be like, "Oh, it's nothing. I'm just
Are
My
you
teacher,
sure it's
my teacher
nothing?
gave me a homework assignment, and I have to.
yeah. It's just,
I-
I was just curious about a couple of things about you, so I was just making a few notes.
Do the notes
And
help
she's
you
like trying
figure
to
out?
swirl her,
Like-
she's trying to angle her notebook away from Gris.
Like, are the notes helping you, or is there something you just want to ask? 'Cause, I mean,
I mean, they might
Are
be
you, like-
helpful. I don't know yet.
are you taking notes on like how I walk? Like, what are you taking notes on? Do I walk weird?
Well, you do have a bit of a limp. You kind of walk, but
do?
like you move your left shoulder a little bit farther forward than your right shoulder, and you tend to look over your left shoulder a lot more than your right. And also the fur on the right side of your tail seems to be more matted. So maybe you should pay more attention to like when you're grooming, cleaning the right side of your body.
Yeah, I always miss that spot.
When you only brush one side of your teeth.
Listen, if you're right-handed, getting back there is hard.
I mean,
Like,
can
you know,
I
I suppose-
can I see? No, I'm curious. Just like
She's
Is that
definitely doing that thing where she's fully tilting her head and not being subtle about trying to read your notes.
Yeah.
But
I'm just curious. Like, do you have anything else?
She's doing the full
there's a couple of personal stuff in here. Plus it's not really like super important stuff. It's just kind of like general personal curiosities. You know,
Interesting. Gris is
It's-
just trying to think about what the heck that means. Personal curiosity.
Personal
don't worry about it. It's
curiosities.
nothing bad. I promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, I believe you. I trust you.
Like, you're taking this really well because this is creepy as fuck.
Gris is
Oh,
thinking about
okay.
taking that notebook later and reading what's in there.
Oh God, I
But I'm not about to say that.
Hold on.
Yeah, you better have that notes down when she rolls that sleight of hand. You better have something because I'm not supplying that shit.
Yeah. I will get something in the meantime.
All right.
But I mean, if you just want to ask, I mean, feel free. I don't know if you're curious. I don't.
Well, yeah, but
talk
it's like
about myself
I'm more
that
curious
much.
about the things that you're like unconscious of, you know, that you don't really know you do.
Are you like a doctor?
Am I?
No, you're not. You're actually.
No.
I'm a taster. I think that's what I'll call myself. Thank you, Gris. That gave me a lot of. Thank you. And Penny's gonna write
done.
doctor on the like first page of her
Doctor.
notebook. Turn all the way to the front, in front of where it says like her name. Like,
Yeah,
on the
she
inside of the
signs
notebook.
every single
She
page
writes
of her notebook,
doctor
and now
as-
she's gonna put doctor.
Dr.
Every
Penelope
page.
Winthrop.
She's insisting that everyone calls her Dr. Winthrop now. Penny no longer exists.
Anyways, I gotta do this real quick, and Penny's gonna do her morning ritual with the Skelly boys and get
Yeah,
them
I'm gonna-
all refreshed.
Yeah.
Get a
Oh.
weird-
Giving everyone AIDS.
Who is he giving AIDS?
I'm assuming the squishies.
Sam, Penny, Pal.
We go into.
Zoo pals. Oh.
I go to you. You, and then go to effects. Let's see if this messes up their HP. Is the effect fixed?
400 max HP.
I'm watching.
Well, nothing happened to me. Oh,
Uh,
well, I had the thing, but my HP didn't change.
all right, that's
Right,
fine.
this is- Yeah.
I'll fix that manually. Maybe one day it'll work. It worked at
Maybe
first,
one day.
and then it never worked again.
Like most cool features, you find something that works on an older version of the thing, and then it's like, well, I hope this stays updated. Clueless.
Clueless.
All right. So, you guys are starting your morning. Sometimes disregarding the laws of the circle of life. Others just kind of, and also stalking your companions. But other than that, pretty normal day. What are you guys doing?
So I didn't actually take notes about what we said we were gonna do.
You guys didn't do anything. You guys went like, okay, well, we contacted the speaker here. Let's go. Let's go for a rest.
Like right at the end of the session.
At the end of the session, it was you got any loose ends you want to any loose ends you want to wrap up, basically, because you have contacted all the speakers now in Zeben.
So we have the thing in Margarine, which has not been brought up to the rest of the group.
No,
We have the library in Grimazon, which we could not get into.
Yes.
We have the Hole of Ismet, which we know is haunted, / has an undead problem, / things are happening.
/ ratio.
We have not really a lead, but more just kind of point of interest in Delphine with Captain Ethra and that witch kind of thing that happened where they killed a person who supposedly led to the death of a heroing adventuring party.
Yes.
I think that was the big leads that we have. The rest of which all the other leads we have seem to point towards the device and the bright blight itself and like fixing it, like with the quote group that Quopip was a part of, seemingly being tied into it. Vryn, the Bright Lord, maybe possibly being related to it.
Possibly. You failed. You horribly butchered the religion check, so you're not allowed to like be like, can I do that again?
Let me do it again, please. Oh, please, sir. So if we wanted to, we could go back down to Margarine. Because Penny does want to go to Grimazon.
Really?
We could just do this in character as well. So I guess, well, yeah, we would probably all head
some of the
downstairs.
details about the margarine thing, Pal won't be sharing with the full party.
Yeah, so we would probably all group up downstairs or in the room or at some point. And just kind of be chatting. And Penny would bring up, so we have all the speakers ready then, right? Like everyone's aware of the plan?
It seems so.
Well, mostly.
Mostly?
Yeah.
Didn't you guys just talk to the one here? I thought this was the last one.
Well, but we didn't successfully talk to the one in Grimazon, and we failed to convince.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Ismet.
As much as I would like to maybe invest more resources into getting Hole of Ismet, just, because they should all have
more
a
or
voice
less
in the
confirmed
character.
we've done what we need to, though we could always benefit from having more people.
If we wanted to go back to Grimazon, I wouldn't be opposed to trying to either persuade or maybe, just take a peek in their library. With some of the information that I have now, I might be able to better find some information in there.
Okay.
Because I know exactly what I'm looking for now.
We head out. Do we want to try appealing for some sort of pass from here? Or do they? I'm not sure that those.
What was the issue?
Fanatics are going to be.
They said he was sick and that no one would be allowed in.
And that nobody could essentially be allowed to attempt treatment. So.
Yes, they according to your conversation there, they have the means of testing magical treatments, and they have tried all of them. And they're confident that no one could offer anything better.
Well, they didn't have a doctor looking at me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if only there's a doctor that could help. Too bad we don't know any.
Well. I mean, it might be worth, maybe doing a little sneak, just to maybe see. If we can just
infiltration,
it might give us an answer.
Yeah, I want to be very clear. If we're going to sneak, and first of all, that they don't strike me as peaceful people.
They did threaten you with violence at the gate.
Watch you tase a man to death.
This is a more subtle way of saying, hey, that's
I mean, violence seems like something we're not really opposed to, though. We've killed people.
But violence against what the fuck?
So true.
Wow. There's children here. You can't just say that.
Violence against criminals is a different thing from violence against
like an established authority. Like Pal isn't down to overthrow the government right now, I guess. Shame.
I mean, Most authority figures are criminals.
True.
Penny, what are you doing?
That is historically
thought
true.
they were-
That is historically
pills.
that is historically true for this region, for the region of Tenon, actually, as its history is based in being essentially the Australia of Spatoa and Akos put their criminals down here.
Wait, does that mean one of the political figures also shat themselves at a dwarven McDonald's?
It's possible. It's definitely
More
possible. You'd have to
likely than you
find them.
think.
Next time you see a dwarf, why don't you ask them? Hey, did you work at McDonald's? Did you see someone shit their pants?
Tiny is gonna say like, well, I mean, I guess in a less morbid sense, some of the information I might be able to get out of the library in Grimazon might help me in fixing the device and might give us some more insight about what's actually going on. So it could, maybe we don't, kill anybody, but if we can at least maybe
Name them.
muscle our way in there, I might be able to save more lives than I could otherwise.
So just open threats then.
I mean, if
So-
that works.
I'm down for open threats. That seems
Yeah,
pretty
ideal.
chill.
You
don't
don't
need
have
to-
in your intention. Can you get? I feel weird asking for this as a player. Can you roll like a persuasion? I just want to see how it.
Yeah, sure. If you
How
absolutely want other
persuaded?
people to roll things for you, 100% ask
Just
for it.
that. Just ask.
How persuaded are we right now?
Haha! Hold on. That's a low
6.
number.
I've looked at
3.
3 is a low number.
Sam isn't convinced.
You know what I haven't rolled in a while? I want to pull out the hollow one that Lucy got me.
Okay.
I'll put that down, because
So
all
I'm
my
not-
other ones are rolling shit.
Saying we should.
It's time to shine.
Can I
I would
silvery
like violence
barbs?
with the large cult faction to be maybe not even a backup plan, but like a last resort. Do we have a
Gotcha.
peaceful
Last
option
resort.
for?
Last resort.
Do we-
Peaceful option. Peaceful option.
Well, I mean, we can try and maybe get a pass from one of the other speakers. But as far as I understand, unless it's like someone big name and they actually respect it, I think they'll just
I
turn us away
believe
regardless.
you have stored. Let me pull up my notes
Who's
real
the
quick.
most important person we know?
So
Okay,
if I'm
Patty,
not
get us in.
if I'm not mistaken, so Oskin did go to check up on the speaker in Grimazon and was denied at the gates. Lucky fortune, Deshaun, who is, you don't know how well respected Deshaun is because you never like sent out vibes for that, but he is like a big religious figure in the biggest city on Zeben, and he sent a messenger to Grimazon and was denied.
Do they tell us where
Um,
their? I think I remember asking where their like religion is located.
No,
They-
they
I
did.
don't
You
actually
just
save
I didn't actually get any notes on
You
the
did-
group itself.
you
so
didn't
I don't know
ask.
much.
They were just very firm in their belief and firm in their knowledge that you could not offer help that they could not already attempt.
Yeah, and we know that they showed up after the speaker got sick, correct? Or before?
They showed up before.
Because in my notes it says it shows that he showed up after.
No,
The
no.
guard showed up after he got sick. Sick for many
S-
months.
the guards were posted up. The guards started posting up on the walls after he got sick, but their presence was known. They were
Gotcha,
present
okay.
before.
Addendum
Okay.
that.
If we can ask around and find out, let's at least try and get, I don't know, an expression and proof of identity from
And
Lucky
Who knows, maybe
Fortune or
someone like-
Cardos, one of the larger cities.
maybe
I-
like Deshaun or Dylan might have some idea of how we could get in there.
Yeah, I would feel a lot better about not picking a fight against a militarized guard religious
Well, when you put it that way.
force that
That sounds really fun.
Me too. Let's do that.
Well, I guess if we all die, you can still play with our skeletons, Penny.
Oh yeah.
Well,
You can have mine.
let's go! Writes it down in her book.
As long as you treat me nicely, I don't want to be at the bottom of the barrel.
You wanna? Well, it's not really.
it's a bag.
Well, it's
No,
not
I don't
really.
wanna be
It's not really a barrel. It's more of like
when it's when you
interliminal
pull them out, though,
space.
you have to pull me out first.
Okay.
Okay.
If you also take my skeleton, can I name it? Or do you-
Sure.
He doesn't
Are
Yeah,
you not gonna
now.
be Chris?
Do you want it? Do you want it now or?
Well,
So
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
gonna like side eye
I'm
it
gonna remove her
Pal,
skeleton now.
No, I just mean if the time ever
and back to
comes.
Penny, and back
Well,
to
yeah, but
Pal, and back to
My
Penny.
skeleton isn't me. I don't want them stealing my name.
Yeah, identity theft is a serious issue, and this.
Another
Looking at my
Back to
hands.
that-
My
That's the
skeleton, not me.
I don't want that bitch taken when it's not his. Fuck him.
Yeah,
Okay.
they didn't earn that.
I will be sure if it ever comes to it, I'll be sure to ask you first. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Penny.
Pal Sam, I don't know what I could take.
I don't even know how that would work.
What would you be taking exactly? I'm kind of. He just thunks his stomach like.
You have any? I mean, I haven't really looked too deep, but I know there's a little bit of organic matter somewhere. Probably,
Let's
right?
proceed for the rest of this
Yeah,
day,
but not
assuming none of
bone
us are going to
stuff.
die.
Okay.
That's a good plan.
If I die in bear form, do you get a bear skeleton?
No,
Or does it change?
it changes.
How can you be so sure? You're so confident.
He knows.
Have you seen
To be
that
fair,
before?
To be fair, yeah. How would Pal know this? I guess.
I mean, he has observed Noda getting beat up and then falling out of bear form before falling unconscious. I would assume.
How many
Yeah,
bears
that's
have you
fair.
killed, Pal?
It's pretty easy
What if
pattern
I'm
recognition to
skinned
notice that
alive?
every time Noda gets the shit beat
Yeah,
out of her, she falls out of bear form.
Assuming you can't hold that through death, if you can't hold that through.
Well, I never thought to try.
Maybe
I'll try
maybe
next time.
if you wanted it,
I don't.
maybe if you
that's not-
wanted it very hard.
I'm gonna try really hard and I'm gonna die. Cause you know what? If I'm dead anyways, I may as well put some thumb effort in.
Pal, the doctor's talking here. Maybe if you try really hard. I am now.
You get your degree.
That's not how that works
Congratulations.
either.
Do I need a degree?
I don't know.
that's the
I
whole
just
point
heard
of
people
being
say
a-
that.
Pal, where can I get a degree?
We're not doing
Think we
that.
can buy one? Let's go look
We're
for
gonna
one
put
at
the
the next.
campaign on hold.
Let's
8
go
years
to
for any
the
chances for medical
Memo
degree.
University to get your degree right now. Side quest. 15
Side
minutes.
quest.
Yeah, let's just leave this
20
area
minutes in and out.
completely and let's go to
It's 20
school.
minutes in and out.
We're gonna.
Quick
Quick
medical
adventure,
exam.
Morty.
Cool again.
That'd be one way to find Bemum, I guess.
Go
If
to
we wanna
every
ask
single
around-
college campus in the entire world.
But
Eventually.
You'll find them eventually.
regardless, we got a little off track. Where are we going
Just a
today
little.
then? We
Well,
want to
we
go
can
meet
check
up
in
with.
the. We're already in Cardos. I might as well stop by and ask the speaker here if they'd have any ideas, and then I guess if they don't, we could go to Lucky Fortune. This is. I don't. This is quickly becoming more than Pal wants to think about their militarized cult.
Well, we could, just go ask around. If we get nothing, then we just go there and try and figure it out. We got a decent amount of time before.
Okay, sure. Here, I'm gonna go. I'll ask the speaker, and I don't know.
gotta
You guys
maybe.
ask
Speaker
other
cool?
people.
I might need to go get a couple things.
Pal,
before we
you
leave.
succeed. You had a very successful insight check last time. Speaker would not appreciate the presence of the rest of your party.
Yeah, no, that's why. That's very clear. I want to go. I'm going.
Is he
Yeah.
cool? Can I meet him?
Yeah.
No.
The
it's-
only reason you are
well,
on
notice
speaking
very-
terms with this speaker is because Pal's alignment exists.
No, I
mean,
can't
Notice-
come or
Notice
no,
very-
he's not cool.
Notice very charming. She probably would get a lot of help out of them.
I
Yeah, the
agree.
C and notice for charming.
No, if I'm gonna be going to the speaker, I want to make sure that you guys have some muscle with you as well. We're gonna you gotta make sure you're able to help the.
I got plenty of muscle right here. And
the
Penny
people who
pulls out
aren't
one of the
fighters, Noda.
skeletons.
You gotta help them out.
You're right. I'll go with Penny.
All right.
Okay.
Looking at the exact lack of muscle in the skeleton.
It's literally a skeleton.
Literally all bones. It's just a skeleton crew.
I mean, Penny can lift them up, so yeah.
They are like, we are assuming that they are 15 pounds, right? That's the average weight.
Yeah, we looked
Yeah.
at how much a skeleton.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, skeleton weighs
got
15.
one
A skeleton
really
is
strong
15%
pulling
of 15% of your body weight. So instead of figuring that out for each skeleton, we're just going to assume 15 to 20 pounds.
She's
Correct.
just got like a. Is she right or left-handed?
She is
She's
right-handed.
giving left-handed energy, if I'm being honest. But
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I get it. I see it.
Never
I
been
see
more
it.
offended
No,
by
no,
fucking
I see it. She absolutely 100%. Like the only right-handed person in this party is Pal. He's the only right-handed person.
What the hell?
I like to believe I'm ambidextrous and that I do everything equally bad with
That's
both
what's up, man.
hands.
Love who you want to love.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm pretty sure Noda is ambidextrous, but she mimics everyone else, so she only uses her right hand when she's someone else using the right hand. But when she's with her party
I
who are
definitely wait for other
left-handed,
people to do things first.
yeah,
and then-
when she sees other people, she's like, "Oh, you're supposed to do that with your left hand, or you're supposed to do it with your right hand." I see. Okay. Just
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you guys. I don't know who you're gonna check with. I don't know. We'll just meet back up here.
Okay.
if I'm not
Right.
mistaken, let's see, hold on a second. Lucky Fortune is like an hour's walk away.
Okay.
with your sand shoes at least. It's
So are
quite.
we splitting the party? Or
If the
and we're
party's
just
going to go to Lucky Fortune, then please let me know before I. If you're not going
like-
to, then I can't. Like,
I
leave
am
you
going
behind.
to. Oh. I want to spend the day, if I
Okay,
can,
you may.
crafting a scroll.
Okay, what kind of scroll?
I'm not entirely sure
Are
yet.
are you going to?
It's gonna probably be a first or second level.
Okay. Let me pull up
and
the old.
I'm looking at the
crafting
scrolls
table.
rule right now. In
Yeah.
order to make a spell, I have to have it on my spell list or gain assistance from someone who does.
Yes.
And to cast it, it's so long as the person on the it's on the spell list of the person who is using it.
Yes.
So, but making a spell scroll this way does not use a spell slot, correct?
Not explicitly, no. It does. Depending on the level of spell scroll, it can take a long time. Otherwise, it'd be like, I'm gonna make like eighth level spell scrolls before this fight. Like, no, that takes a while. But for if you're just like, I want to make like a first or second level spell scroll, then yeah, you could spend like a few hours doing that.
And then, if I were making a spell scroll that is a reaction, the
Mm.
scroll is also still a reaction, correct?
Yeah. Let me check real quick. Let me see.
Do you actively whip out a piece of paper to catch like a sword flying at you?
Let's see. Yep. Okay. Yeah. It's casting the spell by using a scroll requires the spell's normal casting time. Ergo, if it's a reaction, it's a reaction.
Okay. Then,
Making some shield scrolls, Penny.
I might for
Uh,
fucking 25 gold pieces for a +5 to AC. Hell yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
But no, I'm actually going to make a mage armor scroll.
Okay. All right. I'm assuming you're ready to take the money out of your inventory. You
Yes.
are in Cardos. There's no question of whether or not you can get the means of making spell scrolls.
Yes. I even
Uh,
have some parchment on me already.
yes.
Well, Penny's doing that, I'm like definitely just sitting on the floor next to her with like a blank piece of parchment and like a crayon or something and just drawing. Because I'm like, I can't write. I don't know how to write anything meaningful. I'm just gonna draw something.
I'm just sitting in the shop, kind of watching. I'm watching like the process of like the
Now,
scroll being made.
question, Penny: do you have calligrapher's tools?
I have Electrum calligrapher.
Right, because those allow you to add your
Wow.
those allow you to add your intelligence in addition to your proficiency.
Yes.
So, go ahead
I
and
got from my good friend back home who gave me the big book.
yeah. So go ahead and make a crafting check for me using those tools.
Okay. Which is
D20 plus your intelligence modifier plus your proficiency.
so okay.
The DC
20.
is 11 for this in this case. So I hope
Well,
you
that's a
succeed.
19 plus my intelligence, which is 4. So 23 plus my proficiency, which is another 3. So 27. No, 26.
26.
I can do math.
Yes. Yeah, you succeed. It's going to take it's not going to take the entire day. It's going to take a few hours to kind of manage
I imagine
that.
it'd
But
take a while for Pal to like wrangle up loose ends and figure out what we're doing.
sure. Yeah.
Probably start. I
Go,
probably would sit down and start as soon as he leaves.
go ahead and subtract that from the money from your inventory. What is
I
Noda doing?
I got a 13 sleight of hand. How good is my drawing?
Well,
Light
I need
okay.
to make a performance check actually for this.
Performance? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. That's a -2. That's a
Oh, no.
+3. I got
Those are
an 8.
different
You got an 8?
I got
Yeah.
an 8. How good
Yeah.
is my drawing?
Your drawing it's very cute. It deserves to go up on the fridge. It's very good. It's very nice.
What is it?
It's all of us holding hands in like a field of flowers.
Do you have pre-made spell scrolls, Leo, or we're just going to assume?
I can
Should I
grab
just
one.
make
Hold on a
one?
second. I think I might. Let me see. Scroll.
Imagine like scroll of mage armor would be pretty easy to have.
Only spell scroll. First level. It seems.
And then we can just rename it.
Yeah, I can rename it.
I can do that if you want to just keep.
Yeah.
moving.
I dropped it in your inventory, so there's
You
a
got
first
it,
level
Chief.
spell scroll. You can rename it to what it is. I'm trusting you to take that money out of your inventory, and
Already did. I'm at 313 now.
okay. Yeah. Which, by the way, the cost for that, I didn't come up with that. That what came from, I believe, the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Really?
Yeah.
25 gold pieces for a first level?
Yes, but the ramp
That's
up
wild.
it ramps up surprisingly fast because it goes 25 for
Yes.
first level, 150 for second level, and then 450 for third level, and then for fourth
And then
level it's 24.
2400.
So yeah. So when a wizard gives you a spell scroll and it's a decent high level, he's giving you basically he's not giving you money, but he's giving you like a Porsche or something like he's giving you something that has a lot of value if you sold it. Also, if you go into a place to buy, like, hey, I'd like to buy like a 6th level spell scroll. Yeah, hope you have 12,000 gold on you, or perform a heist of some sort, I guess. But yeah, Penny, you'll be doing that. Noda, you're doing some wonderful drawing.
I'm drawing it right now with my left hand to try to emulate what it would look like.
Sam
It's not
and
looking good.
Gris, are you guys doing anything, or are you just sort of vibing with your party?
Not particularly. I was just
I'm
vibing.
vibing with the
I'm like
party.
watching Penny do her thing with the scrolls. When Noda's finished with her drawing, I'm interested in it, but I was not watching her do it.
Okay. All right, Pal, what are you doing?
I'm gonna head over and see if I can
All right,
talk to the
let's
speaker again if he's not too busy today.
let's go back to town maps. Let's go back to Gardos. Party's off drawing in their corner. You gave the kids crayons at the table.
Yeah, I feel like I just took one of like Penny's like shittier quills or something. Because I'm like, she wouldn't give me a nice one.
She has 2 nice quills. She does have a stick of charcoal that you could use.
Yeah, I'm using the stick of charcoal.
Yeah. Yeah. You knock on the door. You go back to the whale's jaw. The bartender notices you immediately, and then sort of you seem like gauge you for a little bit, but then pays you no mind and goes back to his work as you just stride back up towards where the speaker supposedly resides. You knock on his door, and there it is answered once again by Captain Tylo, who goes, "Oh, greetings. Do you require the speaker?"
Yeah, it should be a hopefully shorter thing.
Just a moment. They're gonna close the door. You're gonna hear some rustling around, and then they'll reemerge and just say, "By the way, I was informed that I was offered as a possible solution from the speaker for what he tasked you with. I just wanted to fully consent to you that if you choose to pursue such a task, you are free to use my name and word if it should be beneficial to your goals and actions."
Much appreciated. I guess
and
I
the-
don't.
And then steps aside, leads you in, and there is Thielen, who is sort of sipping a white wine from some chalice, and looking over some papers. There is on his minotaur snout, there are like these tiny bifocals that sort of contradict his hulking frame, and just like this guy is like hulking frame. He's got like some piercings hanging from his ears, but it is otherwise like completely like he's shirtless, so he has like this rippling muscle, but he's got like this like almost like gentle dad like appearance from the neck up. And he goes, "Yes, can I assist you? Was there any details that you needed regarding what I assigned you?"
No, that will be brought up to the party. This is separately related to just gathering the power of the speakers.
Indeed.
Are you familiar with the situation in Grimazon?
I am, yes.
Okay, that'll make this easier. And would you happen to know anything that may be able to... Our party... The speaker at Grimazon has some books and texts that could be directly related to the device that we have. And we were hoping to access them, but with the current, culture and atmosphere, the guards, namely, there's little that we can do to access those, and we were wondering if you had any idea about a method that could help there.
He's going to take a deep breath, take the bifocals off of his snout, and just think for a moment. It's like, I have examined the situation there quite a bit ever since it first started. I do not believe there is a peaceful way of entering without permission.
Okay.
Though I will not assume the level of stealth your party is capable of. If that is possible, and there is something within the abode that you would need, you could always stealth in and steal it and leave before you're spotted. I could procure a means to assist either path should you choose to accomplish the task ahead of you. If you wish to do things quietly, I will assist in that way. If you wish to do things loudly, I can offer some additional forces to assist you.
This is just separate. I'm just, as a player, having trouble recalling. How many things have we done stealthily successfully?
You have had Gris stealth a couple times in combat. You have 2 robots in your party with heavy metal feet, and you have a
That's
bear.
kinda
If you wanted a stealth, if you wanted a stealth mission, it would be Gris and Penny. Gris and Penny have infiltrated buildings and institutions on their own.
Sneaky.
Um,
He's pretty sneaky.
Sam can be sneaky. He
sounds
doesn't.
like
He doesn't choose to be. Is generally the case.
Yeah, but he can be.
Yes. So you presume if you wanted a stealth mission, you would either have to be you would
Hal
need
has
a
low faith
you
in a
you would
stealth
need a handicap for you and Noda, or you would need to send in the 3 squishies alone.
Okay, yeah, that's not happening.
We wouldn't be alone. We'd have each other. Fine. And if we fail a stealth roll, I got it. I can fix it. I can fix her.
Teelan will go forward and go. It is my understanding, as I said, that there's no peaceful way to enter without conflict. So, however,
I fully believe it is in the better interest of the region as a whole. If that.
Are we calling ourselves a natural disaster or something?
We are. You have to understand that this region, we have not actually been peaceful for that long. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Captain Tylo, you were part of the war that happened in the northern part of the region, roughly a decade ago, no? And Captain Tylo will nod and say, yes, that was... the Bloody Trail is still considered red by many, yes. People are reluctant to assist, though, on the order of Speaker Teelan, I'm sure we could muster forces to assist you if need be. If you think it would benefit the people.
I would agree that stealth doesn't seem like an option. If we are able...
Goes,
if you have forces that would be willing to assist, and we can get what we need from there, I feel it'll be easier for me to convince the rest of my party to help.
He goes on to say, I did not say stealth is impossible, however. As I mentioned, I can acquire resources for you that would make it more manageable. I don't imagine... He gives you like a gaze like up and down. It's like, I don't imagine you are the fleetest of foot in your amongst your companions.
For lack of a better phrasing, I would prefer to be at the head of whatever our party's doing here.
Yes, and I could acquire means to allow for that, if need be.
Oh.
If you... I'm not opposed to violence. Like I said, if you choose to use violence to solve the problem I tasked you with, that is fine. However, if there's an option outside of violence that usually is easier to quell, there's no chaos to quell, there's no situation to handle.
Admittedly, I hadn't considered if... well, as you previously pointed out, stealth is not necessarily what I'm built for.
Yes, I can tell.
If that is an option, I would also prefer not to... It's what I'm better at, but I'd prefer to avoid fighting if possible.
As I'm sure many of us would.
Okay.
As I said, I'm not opposed to violence. Violence is a universal answer to all problems. However, it is up to us to decide when we can seek out other options.
Okay. What would... that would be my answer then. If you're able to offer assistance, that would allow me to be a part of
a
non-violent answer, then that's...
I will provide the means to do so after you've accomplished your tasks. Consider it a trade of sorts, then. In addition to whatever aid you may gain during our council meeting.
Alright, much appreciated. Alright, I'll talk to my party and we'll see where we end up, and I'll come back here after we've hopefully been able to help out your side.
Indeed. And he'll give you a nod, put back on his bifocals, and go back, and just like let out a heavy sigh as he goes back to paperwork.
Yep, and I'll head out.
Alright. Captain Ty will lead you out with a graceful bow, and, you'll go out, leave the whale's jaw, and find your party at a table. One seems to be drawing a picture, the other seems to be, doing, their homework like a good student.
Okay.
If a good student also had all their papers all over the floor too.
Yes. It's sort of the messy genius, if you...
That's what they called me in high school.
Yeah, that's me on a Friday. That's me on a Friday night, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah.
What do you like to be called in bed? Genius.
I hate that.
But yeah, Penny is going to Penny would probably be close to finishing around the time they get back. And be like, "Oh, how'd it go?"
Potentially. Well, there's a task that the speaker would like some help with, and if we're able to accomplish it, then they'll offer aid towards our problems in Grimazone.
Oh,
That's convenient.
nice.
Don't. Penny, could I talk to you about it briefly? Just wanted to get your thoughts on something.
Sure. Give me like a couple minutes to finish this up. I'm almost done.
By the way, the rest of your party is there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm drawing right next to. He's like, I'm done drawing. You can talk.
Yeah, I'm almost done with this game of chess.
I'm just.
Give me a second.
Wait, look at my drawing. That's you. Pointing at it. Do you like it?
Yeah.
No.
You can't tell which one you're supposed to be. Like that could be, like, is that your shield or is that
one on the right?
well, it's like, is that your shield or is that Griss's tail? You're like, and then you're like, wait, are you holding? Are you supposed to be wielding Sam's body then? In that case, like, what's going on there?
Sam's the circle on the left without feet.
Good enough. Reduce your expectations to 0.
Yeah. So Penny would finish up.
Wait for Penny to finish her.
Yeah, Penny would finish the scroll. She would kind of tuck away most of her stuff. She'd roll the scroll and just kind of keep it kind of just on outside the bag of holding, just kind of on her.
Sure.
Like, oh, wow, that
Just go and tuck it into like your between your belt or something.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it'll work yet, but if I'm correct, this should save me a little juice. Next time I try to do some morning prep.
Juice.
A little juice.
Juice.
A little
juice.
OJ, if you would.
Orange.
What do you want? Yeah, I'm good now, pal. If you want to talk.
Okay. Yeah, just.
I'm watching very quietly.
Are they like? Is this in the
I'm
same
watching
room as
very
everyone
well.
else?
They walked into the same room, and Pal is pulling Penny aside. Does anyone wish to try to eavesdrop on them?
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm
will
gonna try to be a little
absolutely be
sneaky
trying
about
to
it.
attempt to hear or to sense if people are eavesdropping.
Okay, so-
wait a
I know
second,
this
and then I'm gonna
party.
trail.
Okay, so for those who are trying to eavesdrop, make a perception check.
Sam is
Pal.
very blatantly trying to eavesdrop.
Oh no.
Perception is. Oh god.
I got 12.
My passive perception is 14, by the way.
Let me check my
I got-
dice real quick.
14.
Uh,
Got a 6.
Wait, is there proficiency bonus? Oh,
Plus
never mind.
3.
yeah. All right, and so the only one who would be able to hear, so Noda got a 12, Briss got soon. Because so Sam, regardless of how blatantly he tries to eavesdrops, he can't hear. Noda, you got a 12, right?
I got 12.
And Griss, what'd you get?
14.
14. The only one who can hear is Griss. Now, if anyone wants to be subtle about it, to make a deception check against Pal's insight, or Penny's, if she wants to keep things secret.
We're all doing the deception check?
If you want to hide it, if you want to hide the fact you're trying to eavesdrop.
How are we eavesdropping? Are we just
I got it too.
Are we just sitting there like? But listen, or are we like getting
You're
up and, like,
you're just training your ears because Pal's just pulling Penny aside like a distance away, and you're just trying to strain your ear.
Closer, and I'm breathing a little too loudly.
I'm gonna say how would he know, but I'm also gonna do the deception check.
How would he know?
How would he know if I'm just moving my ear?
The Sentinel bot wouldn't be.
Anyway, I got a 16.
All right. Pal, you need an insight check that beats a 16.
Okay. if I have no intention to hide my insight check or my like attempts to sense people.
No, you don't need to hide it. Like, I don't see any reason why you'd want to hide it. You're just checking to see.
No,
You're
so,
You know
yeah,
your party.
yeah.
like I know guidance isn't subtle, but I'm not trying to be.
Yeah.
18.
18. Yeah, your entire party's trying to listen in, and you're fairly certain that Gris can actually hear you, the way her ears kind of perk up.
Okay. Alright.
Sam is very blatantly trying to, and you're confident he cannot hear it. Like, he does not know a word.
Yeah.
He's got his hands cupped up to his ears.
But he's like, he doesn't have, he has hands cupped up to where ears would be on his head, but they're not, like, his
Those, like, elderly, like, you know, like those
horns. Yeah, those hearing horns. Yeah.
I hate that so much. Okay.
But yeah.
Alright, so first things first.
I hear
Gris, if you
literally.
could turn the
I think the
other way.
horn makes it worse.
Yeah.
So I can't hear anything.
You want me
What about
to?
Gris?
Fuck.
Is Gris? Oh, hey Gris. What's up?
What? Nothing.
No, Gris isn't close. That's just me telling it to Penny because I can hear Gris tell that Gris is listening in. But
Yeah.
Oh.
Gris, now you know that Pal knows. You're like, how would he know? And then he knows.
beyond that, Penny, I'm saying this. Thinking about these things head on isn't my specialty. And I don't. Not. You're the one that thinks the most in our group. We
I
have
mean,
an
everyone
offer
thinks to
from-
some degree.
Yeah, that's why most is. But we have an offer from the Speaker of Cardos that if we can overthrow the Speaker of, I forget the name,
Margarine?
Margarine, right?
Temporarily, Mike. Doesn't need to be permanent.
For the upcoming whole situation that's liable to potentially go down with this device, he does not want the Speaker of Margarine in charge for that.
and so
and-
he's
Is offering us support if we can overthrow them. Now, our group really likes the Speaker of Margarine as a person, but there are tangible benefits to us going with this request.
he's talking about. Penny is thinking right now. He is talking about the fact that the Speaker of Cardos does not like the Speaker Grush of Margarine.
Yeah, Speaker of Cardos. Yeah, the way that Pal's, all you have to work off of it is what Pal's telling you, is that's that the Speaker of Cardos wants Grush out of power.
And he doesn't particularly care who else is. Like,
Pal
Does
hasn't
he
explained that, so you
Yeah.
don't know. You don't know.
Kind of would think for a sec, like tilt her head and think for a second, and then kind of look back at you and be like, "Does he care who the speaker is?" I mean,
He's
Grush
okay.
seems-
He's okay with the old Speaker, and then he has his guard that he would be okay being put into the position of power. But as long as if it's one of those two people, he said either one works.
I mean, we didn't really talk to Grush for a while, but he seemed fairly capable.
I would agree. Unfortunately, we're not going to secure the benefits of. Well, we're being offered direct access, potential access to the resources of Ramadan. Speaker, yeah, offered to help with securing the methods for either assisting with the head-on takeover or the stealth option. We could
Okay.
check in with Margarine and see if they can offer something similarly, probably without mentioning that we're trying.
Well,
But yeah,
if we wanted to, I guess first things first, we could try and just figure out what's up with Grush. When we
Yeah.
last did Margarine, they were dealing with the kobolds in the mines.
okay. So yeah, so maybe we stop by there and figure things out. I wanted, yeah.
And
There's
thinking back, using my Ask Leo What Happened vision,
Yes.
when we passed through, did Grush seem dismissive of the kobolds, or
Uh,
like reluctant to go and deal with them?
neither. He took the he's deemed the situation serious, but he deemed himself confident enough he was confident enough that he'd be able to deal with it.
And was his air about the situation like an air of we'll handle this peacefully, or I'm gonna flush these boys out of his mind?
It was a confident go in with no specific plan. So it's like, I'm gonna handle this.
Oh, okay.
I'll do whatever happens,
We'll
but
figure
I
out
will
when
deal
we
with
get
it.
there
Yeah,
kind of
basically.
deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's like, but it was sort of just like it's like my first day as speaker. I gotta handle this, and I'm gonna handle it. Just sort of a happy-go-lucky, confident guy.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we can at very minimum. We're probably gonna
Gosh, what is
head
that?
to Margarine anyways. So we could go and just check in, get a better lay of the situation for ourselves, and then we can figure out if we want to, politically assassinate him.
What?
You
That is
haven't
what you want to do, right?
you haven't explained all the the leeway you have with handling this to Penny. So Penny's gonna have to.
Never said that we have to assassinate.
Yeah, but Penny's
murdered.
Wishful thinking.
Did someone say assassinate?
Let me check something real quick. Penny, with your passive history, you understand that a lot of political sabotage usually ends with assassination.
Yeah, I mean,
specifically said for the.
there's a story about the old king of Fatoa
We don't
who,
have to.
was supposedly beloved, but was poisoned in his sleep.
That
The
that's
old
an okay.
king of
We don't need to
Bofa.
necessarily.
The kingdom of Bofa.
Okay, let's. We'll head over there for
Yeah, we can at the very minimum we can go over there and decide, what we
And
want to do after talking.
until we do decide what we want to do. Let's not mention that we're potentially going to overthrow the
Oh, that's not.
Blight.
That's the wrong one.
Oh, hi.
I was prepared for that.
That the rest of the party seems to like.
I was getting that.
Battle map.
I was getting ready for the mine where you can talk to Grush, basically.
Yeah, well, if you give me a bit, I do need to still clean up a few of my things, and Penny's gonna look over at the table, which is still covered with her shit.
And also, that was a battle map. You were just talking about assassinating him. Don't fucking play with me. I know what's possible. I know what's possible in a D&D campaign, Cam.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, yeah, I need to make everything a battle map in case you guys are like, I'm gonna fireball the room.
I don't even have
Who would
fireball prepared
ever
today.
do that?
Which, by the way, Grace, you do overhear this entire conversation. But it
I
did
do?
start. It did start with Pal saying, "Grace is like listening in." He's aware of that. So you're not slick, basically. But you did hear it.
I'm trying so hard to lip read Pal, but he doesn't have a mouth.
After because Pal made it known that he knew that I was listening, right? Okay. Yeah, after I realized he knew, I was just kind of sitting with my arms folded, like.
What are you gonna do
angry.
about it? What are you gonna do about it, huh? Do something.
Why does he have to know that I'm listening? Why does he care? But okay.
Also, I very much like how the adult of the party is having sits down to have a serious conversation with the child of the party.
It's the second most
blamed.
responsible person. I didn't make this. That's not my fault.
You can't hold me responsible for this.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's.
The next least chaotic person. Fair enough. You
You
know.
want to just explain that we're going to deal with just the situation in the mines then, and then we'll just.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Okay. I guess that makes sense. By the way, what does Sam hold most dear in his life?
Pal's gonna start to instinctively, of course I would know this, and then immediately realize that he doesn't.
Oh no.
Have a brief flashback to when he was on death's door in the boat, and Sam was casually taunting the guy,
Yeah.
cracking jokes, and then be like, I do not know.
Because I'm getting the vibe that he doesn't, but that it could also be his weakness. That's what he That's what he cherishes most, is the fact that he has nothing to cherish.
I'm just gonna
Freedom that comes
latch
from that.
onto that real quick. So you asked me what he holds dear, but then you seemed really focused on his weakness in particular.
Really focused on his.
This
Well,
is
I'm
the
trying
man
to,
that he
like,
goes
like
to
a
confide in.
present
Well,
sort of
like
situation.
as a doctor, I'm trying to figure out how I could like patch up
Do I
everyone's
need to be
weakness and make us a
concerned,
stronger
Penny?
team. This is for the benefit of everyone. I'm trying to make us a stronger team. So we can cover each other's weaknesses. Yeah, you can insight if you want. I'm gonna roll perception or persuasion or deception.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
telling you which.
Yes.
This will be more of a passing check. I'm not gonna use guidance on it.
Where's my hollow d20? There it is.
Still though. Pal the human can
my
opener.
God. Hey, that's a double threes, baby.
33.
Let's go.
Penny is half lying. She is genuinely interested in figuring out what makes the rest of the group tick, so that way she can try and cover it. But there is a 100% ulterior motive that is not 100% her own, and she is doing it in service of someone else.
Okay.
With a 19, yeah, 19 versus 3, you get all that.
Hey.
Second
let's
most,
talk
second
again
most
later.
responsible person. Second most responsible person.
Cal did not have that information.
What are your weaknesses?
Hey, let's.
Does your house have any weaknesses?
Well, I'm not gonna pry into it at the moment. Pel's not gonna pry into it, at the moment, but I'm just gonna say, hey, let's check in again later.
Just like a little note that's passed in class, like, do you have an emotional vulnerability? Y/N. Like, just pass that along.
Okay, yeah. If you figure out anything, let me know.
Yeah, I'll be sure to.
Yeah, and Penny's gonna, pack up her. Well, first she's gonna pull out her notebook and write down, under like those a couple of people. If you peek over her shoulder, she's not being especially careful right now because it's only you next to her. Peek over her shoulder in the notebook. There's like a list of all your names. Under Noda, it says Terrence. Under you, it says Sam. Under Gris, it is question marks, possible cleanliness.
Cleanliness.
And under Sam, she writes freedom. And then she's going to kind of close the notebook and put it away.
All right.
And then she's gonna be okay. You want to start packing up now? Then it'll take me a bit to get my stuff together.
Yeah, we'll get. No. Turn to everyone else, and I'll just kind of make the. All right, guys, we're gonna head out to Margarine, and we're gonna see if we can. What's going on with Grush and those kobolds?
Yeah, we figured it might be better to have their full attention, so we're gonna go help them.
Sounds like a plan. Are we heading out now, you said?
Well, I'm gonna start packing up. If you guys need anything left to do in town, it'd probably be best.
Yeah,
What's that?
just so we don't have to keep
Yep.
stopping and running back and forth.
I don't
Use the
think I
bathroom
need-
before we leave and all that.
Oh yeah, good call.
Pissing on the sand tends it to run back over your feet. And it's not
Well,
really.
that's why you
Um,
gotta dig a little hole. You don't just piss on it.
Oh.
I want to be here for this.
I thought you were a doctor.
Not a piss doctor.
I feel like that's something that should be covered in all.
Well, I haven't-
Everybody pisses.
No,
Do you
no. Penny pulls out her notebook and writes down. Everybody pisses.
Everybody
Question mark?
pisses.
Question mark? Question mark?
Actually, and then I look at Pal and Sam. Was that do you
That is true.
maybe not everyone.
No,
I'm sorry,
most
guys. I didn't even think about that. Most people.
piss.
Unless because you guys. I guess you guys.
They
don't
gotta
eat,
piss,
but
right?
like
There's-
you consume stuff, right?
There's
How do
stuff
you-
goes in.
Where does it
What
all
is-
go?
It's probably just different kind of. I don't know. Now I'm curious too. Are we all just staring?
Everyone
at
is staring at you guys, by the way.
So you had to do robots going, how do you piss?
I'm looking
asking
directly
right
at
now.
Sam because I feel like Sam would more likely respond to this line of questioning than Pal. How do you go?
Well, first of
Do you
all, it's
lift?
rude to assume
What
that
is it
two
up?
robots of very clearly different models operate the same way.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
I don't know. Well, do you?
Me?
You?
Him?
No, you. Do
Him? Her?
well, what?
What's that, Penny?
Well,
What
I
about
think
me?
she does. Well, she just said she goes on her foot.
Well, not every time, just when we're in.
Okay, but more. That's clearly something that happens regularly. So
Hasn't happened in a couple days.
was. Oh, we share a bed.
Hmm.
That's kind of
By
gross.
the way, what is the standard of like showers and baths in Tenon? I guess
Tenon,
in Seaman, this region.
people usually give themselves and in Seaman specifically, people usually give themselves towel baths where they get clean water and then they just sort of dip it and wash themselves off with rags.
Penny probably does that once a day then, at least before bed if they have access to it where they're staying then. So she cleans fairly often.
Okay.
Okay,
let's go.
I was gonna say, also, if this bit's done, Nathan made French toast and I've been wanting to get it for a bit. If we could take a little break so I can go
Yeah,
get
sure,
some.
we can take a break.
Thank
No,
you.
you have to wait for it to get cold.
We'll be back in like 5 to 10 minutes ish. Be back.
10
Sounds good.
hours.
Sure.
It was fixed. I don't know how that was the issue because
The seal on the windshield was probably.
it was the
Okay.
same episode was. Yeah.
Um,
Anyway.
all right. So we're good to pick back up then?
Yeah. I'll
Uh,
still be muting every once in a while to eat, but I'm good. I'm here.
all right. You guys are heading off to Margarine then, which, if I check my notes correctly, it took a few hours for Penny to finish that scroll, so I'd say it was roughly midday when you left. Which means that it is a 3-hour trek to Margarine. Which will put you guys
Just a
like,
little
yeah, we'll put you guys like early evening, late afternoon. But that will bring you guys there. Let me pull up the.
And when we last left, Grush was heading to the mine, so
Grush said he was prepping to handle the situation at the mine. Yes,
and that was a couple days ago.
it was 1 day ago.
Damn,
Actually.
time.
Yeah, I have a calendar tracker in my notes.
That's probably very helpful.
It is when you have a fantasy calendar that doesn't follow the traditional.
Okay, and I'm just gonna double check my prepared spells in case we do end up making combat today.
I feel like that's entirely up to you guys whether or not you guys end up in combat. I'll be real with you.
I think
We'll
they're
see.
all right.
All right.
Yeah, they're good.
You guys are back in Margarine, and
Okay. So, do you think Grush is still at the speaker's house still? Or, 'cause I know he was like kind of prepping to go out, but we got caught up at the
How long
last
has it been
second.
since we last were through Margarine? I've lost track of days.
it was 1 day.
Just 1 day. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well stop through and check by his house, but he might be just still.
If that's
not
the case,
Um,
we can probably just ask the way to the mine.
Yeah. You stop by his house, and he seems to have like left a little bit earlier. Again, it's like 3 now, so he left a little bit after like lunchtime. And yeah, you ask some people, and they can point you in the direction of the mine. They'll just be like, "Yeah, it's closed right now, though, so don't know what you got business there." But they'll point you in the direction. It's not too far off. It's just out to the east from Margarine. And as you approach, you see a sort of like a small like rocky outcropping, with a few like small sheds outside. There's a bunch of like equipment strewn about, and you see Grush just sort of like chatting with just like a random individual that you haven't seen before. Which would bring you to this map.
Okay.
And you're free to move about.
Nope. Shit. So we are.
Frida!
If you move off the map, I kill you.
Oh, there are friends over there.
Would
I could
never
drag my
ever
but I guess
do that.
It's a focus on it.
Right click.
It's right
Oh.
click to drag camera out.
Hey, a corridor
Oh,
where I
it's-
can't see
that's different
anyone.
between the two. Okay. Whatever.
Let me walk down it.
All right.
God.
You're around the corner, and the conversation that Grutch is having with this random person. You see a tiefling with like dark crimson skin
she's so
and
cute.
equal sort of like purplish maroon hair, sort of like leaning on a staff, just sort of like amusedly, just sort of like chatting with them. Just ears just like, yeah. So that was their demands. It seemed kind of weird. I've never really seen kobolds act like that before, but I'll leave it in your hands, I guess. And she just sort of shrugs and just sort of like leans half leaning against the wall and half lean on her staff. And you'll see Grush just give like a nod and a small bow and go, yes, thank you. You're free to steer clear of there if you wish to avoid it, or you can stick around. Just do not enter lest you provoke the kobold, of course. And then immediately as you're around the corner, he sees you with his passive perception.
I wasn't being subtle at all. I was straight up just running
yeah.
full speed.
And he goes, oh, and then he looks the other direction and he sees Sam and Pal goes, The lady like perks up immediately.
He can
Yeah.
see 2 of his 4 other party members.
You see 3.
You
I absolutely don't. I
Me
see
and
2.
Sam are stacked.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
see
we are literally like giving each other piggyback rides.
yeah,
right now,
the lady like sort of perks up in danger for a moment, is like, but then just knows, like, oh, it's a kid. Okay, and then sort of like simmers back down. And Grush goes, turn back to you all and go, what are the potential messengers doing here?
Oh, hi, Grush.
Hello there.
I'm looking up at the tiefling. You're very pretty.
Yes, thank you. I'm aware.
You're very,
He goes, oh, well, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you.
I glare at Sam. That's what I said.
He's stealing my material.
What's going
That's
on here?
that's my riz. That's my riz. That's my riz.
point 2 fingers at my eyes, point 2 fingers at your eyes.
Game is game.
Across the
Sam just holding his arms wide open, like game is game.
Yeah, Joel.
Pal, or I guess Pal, do you want to explain it? Should I explain it? We're here to help.
He goes, help. There's no need for your assistance. I'm handling this peacefully as is. Though if things came to violence, I assure you I'd be able to handle it myself as well. And he just sort of like pats the scabbard that's hung at his waist. He's like,
Oh, we're very good at violence.
yes, but I'm trying to
That's
avoid
not-
violence
we're not
right now.
Yeah,
We're trying to talk to these kobolds. They are living beings, nonetheless, just like you and I. I fear they're a bit confused.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what seems to be the problem?
What seems to be the officer problem?
They seem to believe that this mine now belongs to the Horde of the Dragon Nation, though I'm nearly certain that there is no dragon whatsoever to speak of.
Excuse me.
that's somewhat common.
Yes.
Did you say the Horde of the Dragon Nation?
The Horde of the Dragon that they serve.
Oh, that they serve.
Yeah.
I would have no knowledge of like kobolds and dragons in this area.
Do I know
No.
anything about dragons because I desperately want to slay one? I think
No.
It's probably not.
No,
Like,
you've heard stories of dragons, and you're like, oh, they're like.
wait. There's a dragon?
He's like, no, there's no dragon, no risk
Well-
of dragon at all.
Oh.
And even if there was a dragon, not all dragons are bad. The large
He-
majority
he's-
of dragons are
he-
actually quite useful.
He nods and gestures
Just
to Penn and goes,
ones. Those ones suck ass.
yes. He's like, well,
Okay.
you see
Chromatic
you see Grush sort of just like
dragon.
uncomfortable, like when you have like the racist relative, and he's just like, well, it's not exactly like that.
Bad.
It's a bit.
Dramatic is bad. CIBK.
He's like, what? He's like, it's not exactly the whole shtick, little one. There's a complicated history, but it's all dragons are possible friends now.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, that wasn't, as far
Well,
as
how
I
am I gonna?
read, that wasn't always the case. But that's a thing for another time.
Well, how am I supposed to traverse the afterlife if I don't kill a dragon?
He's like,
have to
you
specifically
don't
be a
have to.
dragon?
He's like,
I remember
Do
you
you-
said
you'll
you
have
said
to-
you-
Scary thing. I don't know. Some adventure.
I mean,
I
there's
had to do something scary and hard.
there's plenty of scary things we've done so far, and given what we're doing, and Penny's gonna kind of motion at the bag to like point out like, hey, we have a device in here that summons a possible god that wants to kill us.
Oh.
I think we're set on that, Noda.
yeah, but Noda has to kill a dragon, though. I guess
Yeah,
that's
but
not good.
I've had it set in my mind for the past 2 months that I wanted to kill a
2
dragon.
months.
N-
I
n-
decided while I was on the
You could
boat.
never understand how committed to this I am.
Of my life.
Narrator's note: Noda is what they call Delulu right now.
The baby right now. The dinky
But
right now.
I mean, well, do you mind if we at least kind of silently tag along? Where?
He's like, I mean, I would quite honestly prefer. The reason why I'm tackling this alone is not only a confidence in my abilities, but also an assurance that nobody else gets hurt, and also it limits the factors that need to be controlled as well.
What was that name again?
What name?
The name I'm talking with. Name.
He said he didn't say he's talking with anyone.
Oh. Oh, taking this alone.
Yeah, he's taking this alone.
I thought you said talking with
No.
alone.
No.
Okay, sorry. He's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna be. Penny's gonna kind of motion for him to come down, like to her level.
He smiles, and then would like sort of crouch down or kneel to your level.
We're kind of. I'm gonna be real. We're between stuff right now, and Noda and Sam get really destructive when we don't have things to do.
Do I hear that? She's right next to
What?
me.
Hear that?
Yeah.
What?
Noda probably does. Sam,
Yeah, Noda does. Sam, you do not. Now with your passive perception.
I'm thinking about it more. I'm like, no, yeah, you're right.
It's.
Wait, what they say?
If it also helps us. We're trying to get a better understanding of the area, as well as I'm searching for a specific type of metal, and I feel like the kobolds might have some good information for us. So even if we can't assist you with your problem, I think I would probably want to speak with the kobolds themselves.
You have a choice between intimidation and deception.
Intimidation, deception.
Yeah, because you're playing like good cop here. Is like, listen, my buddy's crazy. I'm holding him back right now.
The first part is like, hey, we're bored.
Yeah,
The second part
it's
is like, hey, I've got a genuine curiosity.
yeah, that's fine.
Roll.
That's a perceived threat, regardless of how friendly you save it. Like, hey, my guy's crazy here.
Crossing up
Crazy.
the mouth.
You wouldn't like my friends when they're bored.
That's not detectives.
No.
Ooh. That is a 15 plus nothing.
15 plus nothing. All right.
I'll have a pizza with nothing. Nothing?
All right. This will be a. Oh yeah. Okay, one of these. Rolls. Okay. He'll go just like. He'll like smile and like. Well, if you must sit in, I ask that you stay back and not to act rashly and to keep your distance. And if I could ask you, how do you and your companions do with following orders? Because this is a delicate social situation.
We are like.
So well.
Laws? I don't know them.
Just notice.
All right.
We are like a well-trained army.
I'm gonna let him roll again because of that. Okay. He's gonna just sort of amusedly just go,
Yeah.
Could you- maybe this isn't so good of an idea. Maybe I'll address this another day then. I appears I have some guests to entertain.
Penny's gonna kind of look over at Pal and be like, should we tell him trying to like eye him and be like, should we tell him the whole reason? He might be more understanding.
Do I understand? Do I get the gist?
Yes, passive insight, absolutely. You see Tony just Penny being like, this
It's like, I
whole
don't
scheme,
think I can
this
lie to this man. I
this
just want to try and tell him
this
the
scheme
truth.
is falling away from me. Oh, you succeed
sounds
on the
like
lie
it's
at
like a
first,
no.
but
Yeah, exactly. The
then
thing is, but, like, Penny doesn't feel great about it now.
yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, Penny's looking to you for approval to.
He'll with his passive insight, he'll follow your gaze to Pal and be like, so he has something for me then, and he'll get up from his kneeling position and just look at Pal and just be like, just give you like a nod, like yes.
It's nothing worth it. We'll be out of your hair. Sorry, you're
He's
probably
like-
correct that this isn't the right.
He's like, if you're sure,
situation.
okay then. Shh.
Penny's doing hand signals. She's got flags out. She's like, "What are you doing?"
He's doing color guard.
Well, do you mind if at least we stay here for the day then, or for the night?
He's like,
Just outside the mines.
He's like, of course, if you're that concerned for my safety, which it is an honor that you consider that you're so concerned for me, you're free to stick around and I'll emerge at some point.
You're such a nice guy, Grush, and I don't want to see bad things.
He's like, appreciate your concern, but yes, you are free to stick around.
I can give something that nothing. Okay, this will be a way for you to talk to us if something goes wrong. And Penny is going to walk around a bit, and then be like, "Oh, Gris, can you open up your coat for a second?
Why?
Just real quick. I gotta get something."
Sure.
And she reaches into Gris' coat and pulls out Bert. And then walks over.
Was he there the whole time?
I don't know. How long was he there? What?
How do you not
Penny.
feel him?
I got a lot of shit in here, man.
Oh,
Wait,
well,
can
he
I
doesn't
see?
need anything. Don't worry.
No,
Can I
that's
see?
like-
Walks inside. This is my friend Bert.
Goes,
he
hello
is
there, Bert.
Bert is in. What form is Bert? I left
He's
him
an
I
owl.
think.
He's still an owl.
I can see and hear through Bert for quite a distance, and he follows my directions. But he doesn't really do much besides that. So he'd be a good way for, if things go wrong, you can always talk to Bert, and we can come back. We can come help.
Sure. He'll just sort of like shrug a bit, and go.
He is pretty fragile though, so be careful with him.
It's
He
like,
does tend to,
well, this is a treasured
Lego
companion
Death
of
sound.
of yours. I'd be. He goes. I'd be ashamed if something happened to your friend. Are you sure that you'd want to send him in
yeah,
with me?
he gets up pretty quickly, but like it takes a bit after he gets hit.
He's of the magical nature. He's a what was the word? Summon or familiar, I believe.
He's just
I'm
a
not
little guy.
mistaken. He's like, just one of those little guys. I'm quite fond of them. Yes.
Yeah, Penny is a little nervous when he asks about like what he actually is, given that she kind of fully kind of half understands what Bert is now.
She'll lean down a little, like a bit haughtily, and go, and that's not HOTT, that's HAUGHT. I've been reading more, okay, so don't.
You don't have to justify yourself. No one's questioning it.
Someone's got a thesaurus.
But she'll sort of lean down and look at Terrence, and then she'll she's had like a neutral expression for the longest time, but then sort of like the corners of her mouth will quirk up a little bit, and then she'll reach a hand forward and look you in the eyes and say, "May I?" And she goes, she goes to pet Terrence, and then when you place her in her hands, she's like, "Well, aren't you just a handsome creature?" And she like scratches him under the chin a little bit.
I'm like, his name's Terrence. What's your name?
She goes, "Well, my friends call me Ellie, so let's go with that."
Ellie?
Yes.
I can see it.
She quirks an eyebrow and goes, "I like you."
I like you too. I'm Noda.
She gives you a smirk and go. She gives the frog branch and gives a smirk. Goes, "Of course you are, dear."
You get it.
What happened to you when you talked to that one girl?
Yeah. You let the child with a bad influence.
They were together for like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. What happened?
Penny, don't be disrespectful.
This isn't Penny, this is me. Hi, I'm Cam.
She looks into the camera. Cam, don't be disrespectful.
Into the camera.
Cam is disrespecting you. Okay. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Penny would be like, so yeah, if you just
She's like,
I won't be looking through him all the time. I'll just check in from time to time. But if something goes bad and I don't seem to immediately respond through him, just tell him to fly to me, and he will come out and get me.
he goes, right, I suppose that's how that'll work. And nothing bad will happen if, say, like, I don't know, like a rock falls and bonks him on his head or something?
No, he'll probably fall apart.
Oh,
What I will know if that happens.
would you need me to save the pieces if that fall off, or
He's pretty easy to put back together.
You
I
said,
would appreciate it if you could, but it's not super important.
okay then. Yes,
I
of
really
course.
like this one here, and she's gonna point to one of like the wing bones that is really clean looking.
He's like, yes, it's a bit. I can see the aesthetic.
Yeah, there's a couple of good bones in here that I have collected over time, so I would appreciate if I could keep them, but they're not super important.
He goes very
What's more
well.
important is that you're safe.
Yeah, he goes very well. Well then, I shall. I'll be heading in soon. Then I was just getting some more details about the causes of it from Miss Elliot over here, and she was informing me.
Oh, okay.
Again, you are all free to stick around here. There are some storage rooms and rest areas that you can also reside in if the winds are whipping at you, of course.
All right, will do. Be safe, Grush. And he's gonna kind of try to do like the arm on the shoulder, but she goes barely past his knee. So like,
Yeah.
arm on the side of the
Upper
calf.
thigh.
Yeah. He'll just sort of like ruffle the hat that's resting on your head a little bit before writing it again,
A
and
large
go.
amount of sand falls out of it.
When he sees that, he'll pick it up for a moment and like shake it, like hold it to the side and shake it a little bit before placing it back on your head.
I
He's
don't
like,
know how that much gets in there.
it gets everywhere in this place, I swear.
Of course.
And Ruffin gets everywhere, quite honestly. But he'll sort of nod you and head out and be like, very well. Like I said, you're free to stick around. I'm going to head in now and hopefully resolve this peacefully. Have a little chat.
Okay, bye, Grush.
He's like, very well. And he'll sort of step forward. What happened to Burr? What?
Bird's right here.
Oh, he disappeared for a moment. All right. And he'll sort of
You wanna just, if you like click drag over both of them, you can move them at
yeah,
the same time.
I'm trying to group them together. Oh, something broke with them. Never mind. A second. All right, cool. There we go. And Grush will head in. What's the rest of the party doing as Grush begins to head in?
Penny is going to walk over to Noda and be like, "Can you hold my hand real quick?"
Yeah, always.
And Penny's
I'm
gonna
questioning puts hand
grab her
out. Oh,
hand, and then her eyes are gonna go black.
Nightmare.
Nightmare.
And there's just a faint, like, hissing, whispering sound as like black smoke comes out of her ears.
I'm gonna step away.
There's like a slight purple tinge.
This is like normal when you like go through Burt, right? This isn't. Does it get worse each time?
This
Or is it-
this has happened before. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, so I'm just making casual conversation while this is happening. So I'm like looking back over to Allie. So I'm like, so Allie, what do you do? What are you doing down here?
She
you
says,
friends with Grush?
he's like, she goes, not particularly. I was just working here, and well, I was just asked here to give any information I could about the whole situation at the mine. So I'm about to head out now.
Okay.
Have fun sticking around here, I guess, for all that's worth. And as she passes by Penny, she'll just like sort of like keep her eye locked on her as she passes by, just sort of like before shrugging, going weird, and then just sort of head out, and that's her. Now you guys are left alone as Grush heads in. Penny, you see Grush sort of head in through this mine, and just sort of like you see him like he'll like lean over to here, check on like some of the equipment, the mine carts, what's filled, what's been taken. He'll go over to some crates and like check some supplies. Then you see him sort of, just go like you see him even like pass by the entrance. Like you'll see him vaguely at one moment, but then you see him just sort of like checking a bunch of different stuff, sort of examining things at the entrance before he'll sort of crouch down and like just sort of like try to pick up some tracks or like sort of perceive what's around him. And then he'll sort of stand up straight and just sort of march forward confidently. but like with a stature that seems like he's ready to spring into action. And you'll
like he's confident but ready for anything.
yes.
I guess.
And as he strides forward, even with Bert's passive perception, you do hear some kobolds rifling through some crates here and here.
Cool.
And you'll see him strike up a conversation. You'll see Grush go, salutations. I believe we had a conversation earlier. I agreed to give you some more time to prepare a meeting with your leader, was it?
You gave kobolds time to prepare.
And you go, you hear them go,
Yes, we take you to head dragon Kurt.
and Grush will just nod sage and go, yeah, yes, very good. Will you lead the way? He's like,
Yes, follow me.
and then he like this one will march over to his friend and like slap him on the back and go and just you see them like whisper to each other in Hush Draconic, and then they'll go and then he'll turn back to Grush and go, follow me again, and they'll lead deeper into the mine. And they're just sort of be going through some winding tunnels for a bit. Is there anything you're doing during this time?
No, Penny is just kind of keeping an eye out. Bert is going to be scanning the walls for just traps in general.
Okay.
Assuming kobolds are pretty well known for being crafty as hell.
It varies. Some kobolds are it's sort of like a there's a stereotype for kobolds that's very similar to that of goblins in Farelthan, where people go like, they're just like the stupid little runt creatures, and that sometimes is the case, but other times they have some ingenious like sort of inventions and sort of plans and traps and whatnot that like even like people would never think of and are often surprised by.
Yeah, that's why I was like, he's like, yeah, I gave you guys time to prepare, right? We all good? I'm like, oh god.
Yep.
Does he know?
But yeah, so Penny's just gonna be using Bert to just kind of keep an eye out, mainly like behind him, as if like people are coming behind, or if something is just like closing behind him, or like something sprung behind him that he didn't notice.
Okay.
So I'm assuming he can keep well enough of his area in front of him.
Yes. You see like you do see him like scanning the area as he walks past. And he doesn't seem to be bothered by like the low light in this area, similar to Bert almost. What's the rest of the party doing in this situation?
I'm kind of just trapped here. I'm holding Penny's hand.
I'm
Chill.
kind of walking and trying to like see if I can notice my own limp and like my own like body being asymmetrical, because I straight up didn't notice that before. Penny pointed it out, and now
Make a medicine check, Gris.
I bet I'm not good at those. Okay,
I am just such a chiller right now.
medicine. Oh, medicine's +1. Okay.
He opens up his chest cavity and just it's like cold steam falls out. I'd be chilling.
Chill.
I got 15.
15. You do notice like a little. It's not exactly a limp as that would be like most accurate. It's just sort of like a walking pattern that you notice that you don't observe in others that you now notice as like you're pacing back and forth here. There's sort of like a weird thing where like you also just sort of like lean and swerve your way away from things as you approach them, almost.
Just like I do in real life.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Diagnosed.
So yeah, you're doing that, and then also there is just sort of like one of your, you remember like just during one of your many misadventures you once like twisted an ankle, and although you healed, like one of them just when you're like standing in like your most relaxed posture, one just seems to be like twisted a bit further out than the other, slightly pigeon-toed.
You're now aware of how you walk.
Yeah, you are manually breathing. But yeah, you managed to observe, and then you're like, when it comes to like some of like the other stuff, you're able to notice like some irregularities in your fur coat and your general posture. It's like and in some of your clothes, it's like that there's like you're able to make note of like some hygiene things you could do to remedy that if you wanted.
It's all
Things to
extremely
do next
minor,
time I
though.
shower.
Yeah. But yeah, what is Sam is a Michigan chiller right now.
He's a Michigan chiller.
Yeah.
Maybe straight chilling.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a Michigan
Oh.
right this time.
What is Pal doing?
I mean, honestly, Pal's just gonna sit here kind of think about the situation because he
Uh.
doesn't want to do anything to Grush either. But
All right.
the practical benefits are pretty clear.
Yeah. All right, Penny, you continue to go. You continue to follow Grush. It takes a while, but they eventually. Can I just select all these and have them? I can, but they all ended up on the. Oh, they all ended up on the same tile, so that's a bit
Tile.
awkward.
Ah.
So let me grab one here, one here, one here, one here. And as they approach, they see like some small lanterns in the way. They all of them are like very busted and damaged, and you just hear Cobalt just go, "Ow!" as the one that's guiding Grush, and they just sort of walk. And you like Bert instinctually tenses up, and Grush just sort of like does a quick like swivel on his head. But all that happens is you see kobolds like sort of emerging from where they themselves seem to be mining some rocks. Some of them seem to be like some of the valuable ore that Grush saw at the entrance, and some of them are just like at a glance, even Bert can tell these are just like plain rocks that they liked, I guess.
Is it a cool rock though?
It could be. It's not small enough to put in your pocket though, so what's the point?
So what's the fucking
Fucking lame.
Yeah. But you see like all these kobolds slowly like emerge from the tunnels from side to side that they were mining in, and all begin to head down towards the bottom of there. So let me grab them. Let me grab like all the kobolds actually and just bring them all fucking
Out
here.
here. Bring the boys. Bring the noise.
Yeah, and then Grush will just continue walking alongside with them. Sort of whoop, whoop. You see him like take a glance down and sees like again some primitive mining operations. Some of them successful. Some of them. This one right here is just like fill nothing but with like sedimentary rock. Nothing else. And you'll see him sort of emerge into an area. These guys will make space for him. Blight. And you'll see him stand before. Seems to be like a line of like ripped clothing and other materials and like tarps and whatnot that make for a carpet almost. Leading up to a kobold that is of a all these kobolds seem to be blue with like minor differences in that you can easily differentiate them with. And at the lead of them is a green kobold with some red markings on them. And on his back, you see there are these really rough wooden wings that have like ripped
Oh my God.
burlap sacks on them. And holds his hands up as soon as Grush enters and goes,
You are in the presence of Kurt. Bow before me.
Oh my God.
and Grush goes, he's like, of course, my liege, and will kneel and give a bow. And Kurt goes, good! And then he turns to the kobolds and goes, now what? Grush will now engage in peace talks, which I'm going to make a persuasion check. At advantage because he was doing some preparations of his own.
He can't fuck this up, right?
No way.
What? We'll see. So there, he'll make note. I guess an update. Are you guys doing anything else out here, or are you still just waiting on?
So, Pal, and I'll move back. Pal's just gonna be prepared that if Penny comes out of looking at Bert and seems startled, he's gonna just kind of, prepare a reaction to make sure she understands not to say anything about it. I'm just like slide her down real quick.
Yeah.
Like
Okay. This is the part where two NPCs talk to each other, I guess. Wonderful.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Love it when the party does this. Love it for them.
Hey. Would you rather us beat up everyone we find? That's what we
I
did last campaign.
Yeah, how well did that work out for you all when I placed you in a dangerous beat-up situation so you had to be social and then you ended up wiping half your party?
I don't know what you're talking
It
about.
be like
Yeah.
that sometimes.
I'm gonna need like a physical example of that because I don't think that ever happened. I'm not gonna lie.
There's 2 gravestones at a spa that we can go visit.
Don't worry about that. That's
I
Uh,
can't wait for us to stumble upon it in this campaign. Like, damn, what happened here?
Who did this?
It's just gonna be a really pissed off Nereid, and that's it.
what the fuck, guys? But yeah, Grush will begin speaking their talk about. Kurt will insist that he has seized his hoard and like this is his and these are his servants, these are his pack, and they all go like yeah, and they're all like cheering. And Grush will simply listen, nod, and go, would you like any better conditions though? And they're like, what? How could this even be any better? And with Bert, you see like there's like some open crate. They stealed like some supplies, some food and like water and whatnot that they have housed at like the southern end of their cave here. And some of it's still good. Some of it you can see from a distance is going a bit bad. There is a small pile of coin in the top left corner that you gauge could, not all of it is even gold. A lot of it is copper and silver. You're like they probably have a maximum of like 12 gold pieces there.
Jesus.
And then of course the red carpet in their throne room of course is not red carpet but instead like torn clothes and scraps of cloth laid out on a mat and patted down. And he's like Grush says we'll go forth and make an offer. Basically, I'm expediting this because I'm not swapping between those two voices. By the way, not quite at that level yet. Especially, I don't know how impactful the conversation between
We're
this
not there to interject, so
Yeah,
we can summarize.
yeah. Plus, this intelligence disparity isn't the most humbling thing. I would do it if it was more dramatic, but this is political talk where Grush basically finesses the conversation where he will increase their hoard and subsidize their food, shelter, and water if they are willing to fight the earth for them, which is what they refer to as their primitive mining operations that they were imitating others with. And in so, the kobolds feel like they're winning and they're being rewarded, and Grush settles like, if you can allow my friends to help, and then Kurt, like when he basically says, you'll be okay with working with some of my friends, right? Kurt will be sit there setting a moment, and then you'll hear like a tiny kobold voice in the back corner go like, I like friends. And then Kurt would be like, yes, friends are good! And then they'll all cheer, go, yeah! Yeah! And then...
So cute.
And then Kurt will like fire off like some like spells, like some magical effects. You see like fire, some small sparks of fire, lightning, just sort of shoot off into the air. And you see Grush sort of like tense for a moment and hunker down, waiting for like anything else to happen. But it just seems to be like celebratory and more just like for effect. He's like, yes, and we are willing to share our knowledge, so that we can protect both your horde, your pack, and also my friends, from things such as cave-ins. It'd be well for you to learn this. And they'll be like, Kurt will be like, yes, that would be good. I lost my son in a cave-in last week, so that would have been nice to know beforehand. and and instead of being like sad about it, all the kobolds are like just sign like yeah, that would yeah. And he's like, Grush is sort of just like, right, sorry for your loss. So we have a deal then. I'll bring some friends in, and I'll bring some fresh food and water for you, and I'll even donate to your horde. And Kurt will go, yes, I want all your city's gold! And Grush will say, how about a miner's salary to start? And Kurt, let me roll an intelligence check for him real quick.
How smart is this boy? Come on, Kurt.
Kurt will go, that's good enough! Yeah!
Doesn't even ask about benefits or anything.
No. And he'll be like, very well, we should have it, either by tonight or tomorrow. And then you'll hear, like, voices go, what's night? And what's tomorrow? And he'll be like, right, can you, and he'll, like, look around, and Kurt will be like, silly human, I know what time is. And Grush goes, I'm not exactly human. Okay then, it's a pleasure to meet you. And I look forward to working with the great dragon, Kurt. And they just sort of like, all just like sort of cheer and whatnot. One of Kurt's wings comes loose and one like falls over, so now he's sort of a one-winged dragon. But Grush will sort of nod, and sort of head back the way he was guided. And he'll sort of pat Bert on the head as he's walking, who's been on his shoulder the entire time, just go like, he'll look at Bert and say, not bad, eh?
Bert will preen some of the hair off his head.
There you go. I'll take that as affectionate then. And he'll head out. And it'll be like 30-ish minutes before he heads out. And he makes it out, and yeah, he's good. He did it.
Yeah, as he gets starting closer, like once I start being able to see like the entrance and like I can see some of our party members through it, I'll drop out of Bert.
Yeah.
And he will collapse into dust on
as soon as it happens, Grush will sort of like launch his shoulders forward and try to be like, oh no, I just almost no. He's like, he comes out like holding dust and like looking like he's out, like he's like, how am I supposed to explain to this kid his pet died? He's like, he goes, young miss, yes, your friend seems to have lost his composure a bit, and holds his hand out for both of his large like calloused hands are like cupping this like ash and dust with like
what are you talking about? He's right on your head, and Bert is on his head making a nest out of his hair.
He's like, so he is, and he'll just sort of drop the dust and just sort of slap his hands clean, just like, well,
is it going all right? I kept an eye, but I couldn't really follow the full conversation.
He's like, yes,
like it went well.
It was, the kobolds are far easier to deal with than than the usual politics, I'll tell you that much. It's just sort of just like, there's like a grimace on his face as remembering like all like the usual like what he's been used to so far after like on his second day so far. He's like, but it should seems to be handled all well and handled, and yes, I feel quite good about that. I don't suppose my the head miner won't want for some nice labor. They were thinking about getting. You've heard him complaining about being short on hands, and while the kobolds may not be the brightest, they're certainly fervent in their expeditions. So I can guarantee that much. All in all,
wow,
a good ending.
It, Grush.
He's like, this was hardly anything. I feel like almost anyone could talk to some kobolds and just befriend them. They're really quite friendly creatures, so long as you don't actively threaten them. I suppose that's true for anyone, but especially for them.
You're such a good guy.
You're gonna make a great speaker.
He says, "Thank you. Your confidence is very, and I appreciate your confidence so dearly."
Penny is side-eyeing the fuck out of Pal. Like,
This town's in great hands. I'm feeling good about this.
She's like, I'm feeling quite good about. Yes, I'm feeling quite good about this too.
You instill a lot of confidence in me.
He's like, oh, thank you. That is the role of leaders, and that's what I strive to do, now and through the future. Is there anything else you want to do? You came out of my concern, and as you can see, I'm unharmed, and even better, I have a victory under my belt now. Once more.
Yeah, why are you even here? He seems. He's got
There's
it.
another matter I'd like to ask you about.
He's like, yes.
Did you happen to, so we've talked briefly last time we visited through about the situation in Grimazon.
Yes, you did.
Would you be able to help us in any way with getting?
He kind of like
possession of some documents that may be crucial to better understand
like,
the Bright Blight.
That's a rough position to be in. Before leading up to my coronation and whatnot, former speaker Chotap, so the old man that is, he tried to contact Corvin Silver. Heard he was fallen ill. Was offering to send some aid for him or whatnot. We have magical healers. We have traditional medicines and whatnot at our disposal, and we were offering to send care package both for him and his people, in case they're going through a rough time right now. And it was promptly denied, and we were warned to stay away and whatnot. If he wasn't successful in it, yeah, I don't think, especially given my newness to the position, I doubt. Totaps was the old man. He had a reputation of being like he was the guy for a lot of people, especially on the southern end of Sebin here. So I don't think I can throw any weight around to get you entrance into there if he couldn't crack that egg. Apologies,
All right.
if that's what you were hoping for.
Understandable.
Pal, do you wanna?
It's like, he's like, he's picking up some message, but he's not picking up whatever message you're trying to convey. He's like, oh, is there some problem? Is there something else I can help with?
Penny looks real uncomfortable.
Probably not at the moment.
It's like, okay, well, you met me at my abode. If I'm not there, I'll usually be out and about. I may be back and forth between the town between the mine and the town to smooth over the incorporation of a new workforce. But other than that, you'll probably find me at my abode handling the paperwork and correspondence and whatnot. I look forward to seeing you at the council meeting. He gives a deep, gracious bow before standing up and striding off.
Speaker Grush just gets it done. What a guy.
He gives like a hearty laugh and just waves as he walks away.
I'm like a big fan of him now. I was like, he's great. He's so
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, he did.
Nice and effective.
He did handle that really well.
What can
and
he do?
Peacefully.
By his own admittance, handling kobolds isn't the most impressive thing.
Yeah, but like that's when he's just been like, he's got a. He doesn't seem.
The main concern from Speaker Teelan, you recall, Pal, was not his strength of character nor his own abilities, but experience. He was raised by toe taps during a time where not during a time of hardship, but a time of peace, and he has never been around during hardship. Regardless, even though like the general lifestyle within Sebin is considered quite rough compared to most other places, it's still
relatively
soft
times.
Yeah, he's a relatively soft, like unexperienced and soft.
I mean, he seems fine. I don't.
Yep.
Oh.
It's a problem of practicality versus morals.
Yep.
Wait, what are you guys talking about?
It's why it's a very practical, pragmatic task. That's why he would only talk to about it with someone like Pal. He literally there's two alignments he would talk to. He would talk to lawful neutral and lawful good. He would not talk to anyone else.
Not even a chaotic evil?
No, not a chance.
Not even
Not a chance. Not a fucking chance.
I don't know.
Next
But
time.
the thing, I just
Briefly, before, just real quick, Penny. Chris and Noda and anyone else who has the capability, we should just check if we're. If
So
there's people
Sam?
surrounding us before.
If there's what?
If there's other people here before we.
Oh
Or-
yeah.
Oh wait, not in there, Penny. Noda.
No, like while you
Hold on.
I'm just
while
looking.
while
Don't
you were
get out of there.
while you were staying around, you've been sitting around here and like you've had the freedom to like sit in like a storage room or or like the rest area and just sort of relax for like hours. It is now like evening. It is a little bit past 6. And there's been nobody else around.
Just doing his-
Yeah, Ellie gave the vibe that like
and all
this
that.
area was vacated due to the potential threat of kobolds doing stuff, because kobolds are sometimes misinterpreted as harmless, and they were not they were not risking that, basically.
Alright,
I was just
well,
checking. I can see really far.
we don't need to go in there. That's not. We
Well-
shouldn't go in. Don't go in there.
I do still
Okay.
want to.
Yeah, it seems like there's no one through here.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's nobody in there for what it's worth.
Okay.
Small eye roll.
I mean, what do you want to do, pal? It's
Well, let's talk this out with everyone at this point. So, we've been given an offer from Speaker Thielen?
Yes, Teelan.
Yes. I'm like, okay. From Speaker Thielen, that if we can remove Grush from power temporarily.
temporarily.
I just like him.
He's my friend. He's my
He's
friend.
pretty handsome, so it'll be a little difficult.
He's really
Then
pretty.
he'll
You
be-
were right.
Then we'll be given aid not only in breaking through Grimazon, but also in the future. Essentially,
Oh.
we
Is
have an
that
opportunity
legal?
to make a strong out. What did you just say?
Isn't that what you do?
Yeah.
I didn't hear what.
Yeah.
much
Steal your
aid
shtick.
So yeah, the offer, the original offer was
Pointing my fingers.
was that Teelan proposed that with his inexperience, Grush will not be able to afford to offer much aid during the council meeting. It will be very minimal. Whereas if he had somebody with more experience with handling times of crisis, there would be more aid for both from both Margarine, and then Teelan would offer far more aid from Cardos, 2 of the major cities here. Otherwise, he says like you're gonna get next to nothing from Cardos because he has to prioritize his people first, and you're probably not gonna get much from Margarine because he's still new.
Hmm.
And then, with what was negotiated today was Teelan will use resources and connections to get you either give you additional forces if you wish to storm the fort at Grimazon, or the means of stealthily infiltrating the place.
Okay.
So, exposition has been cast, but essentially,
That is the. I'll do an exposition on the rewards. You can choose what information to give the party.
no, I'm telling the party everything at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're all caught up on that, but essentially, from a practical standpoint, we should go through with it.
I mean, yeah, but
I
watching him
agree.
in there, if the problem is his experience, not letting him lead through a difficult time is going to deprive him of that experience. He'll never have it.
It's okay.
I don't disagree.
How temporarily would he be removed from power? Like,
I'd
Yeah.
imagine till
Whatever crisis may
Yeah.
follow.
I
Deal with
imagine
the
until
right
we
place.
solve this, and Penny's going to kind of open the bag and kind of peek out the device. Like, if we can
Yeah.
solve this, I feel like things will really kind of start to either go uphill or downhill, and we won't know until I do it.
I don't
Yeah,
even know what
so-
Teelan
one
looks
way to
like.
look at it.
I don't know how I feel about doing something for a guy I don't even know.
It is okay. I trust
what if
you
he's
with
like-
my
Is he
life.
cool? What's his vibe?
What if he's ugly?
I don't want to help other people.
What happened to Noda? What happened to Noda? She became Noda became such a mean girl. She became such a mean girl. What the fuck?
Really?
I'm just saying, I don't know him.
That seems pretty disrespectful. You're gonna be disrespecting
I think it's
them.
disrespectful that he doesn't even want to meet some of us.
Yeah.
You don't know that. Pal's just stopped you from meeting him.
That's true. It's like, well, can we meet him? I want to know what his vibe is. I get, I'll help whoever I like better.
Well, Pal is right. It's the most practical. It could get us access to the library in Grimazon, which
Yeah, I don't trust this Teelan guy. Let's help him.
Really need.
How do we get this guy out of power? How do we get the guy out of power?
Do we get money?
What's the plan? What's the game plan? Get him out of power.
We could
I want to get him out of
explain
power.
the situation to Grush. Maybe he would understand. I don't.
He's a nice guy.
Well,
Yeah, he'll understand with violence, I think.
What?
from a
Wait. No, wait.
Your bandana's showing, Ty.
Oops.
You don't have Fireball right now, unfortunately, so you can't act on it, but...
Yet.
Even I
From a-
don't.
blunt perspective, this is outside of the political scapes, less of what I'm sure on how to handle. Though I am against violent means for solving this problem.
I trust Grush. I don't think he should be removed from power. He's
I don't
maybe he's-
necessarily disagree with either of those points. It's
and I don't.
Would the substitute be more viable than Grush? Do we know that
well,
for
that's the
certain?
idea. It would be either Toteps or Team's
Tylo.
advisor.
It'd be
I
Toe
feel
Taps with Tylo.
Aware that there is going to be an imminent time of deep crisis about to happen.
He's been vaguely informed by you guys. Teelan has implied that he has informants and connections that have given him a greater perspective on it. He's been basically, I think what he said in his conversation with Pal is that he's been basically just borrowing whatever information that is at Lucky Fortune and seems to understand there is something greater going on and it's going to be really big.
We've seen the tiniest of cracks into the bigger
That
picture.
one assassination would be our
That one
main-
assassination, like the Olmeron moving around.
Yeah, and Teelan's thing is that, like, Toe Taps has lived through that, Tylo has lived through that, they could lead through that. He's not against, like, he didn't promote a violent option because he's like, if Grush were to resume leading, he would have that experience for any future leadership things if he lived through that experience, but leading through that could be costly to people.
Does Grush know, or
it's a
like
full
have
party.
like a formed an opinion of like Toe Taps or Yellow?
Uh,
They
To-
know each other.
yeah,
He was
To-
raised.
He was raised by Toe Taps. He was
Oh, then it shouldn't be that hard to convince him.
That's
I
up-
feel.
we should talk to.
I
We
mean,
should talk to Grush and Toe
I
Taps.
think you're mixing up Toteps and Teelan. He's not Toteps isn't necessarily on board with removing Grush.
yeah, Toe Taps,
Teelan is the one.
Toe Taps, like, resigned, and they held a vote, and Grush was elected, basically, is what happened.
Well, why don't we talk to Toe Taps and see what he thinks before bringing it up to Grush?
Well, the potential
should be a part of
concern
this
there is
conversation,
of a
man.
leak.
I mean,
Because I mean, he's the one that raised him.
No.
So like, if he thinks that he would be okay,
It would
then
definitely, if he is going to be the substitute, it would make sense to tell him
Well,
about
he's not the only
bigger
option for
picture.
a substitute. We also have Teelan's
Yeah.
advisor.
Yeah, Tylo.
I don't.
I feel like he
There's a
would
lot
be
of
more.
T names here.
Grush should be a bit more susceptible to allowing Toe Taps back.
yeah, I think it's
Then
like
I don't
weird
feel
when you
that's
bring in
true.
a
It's just not
completely
necessarily about
different
what
person.
I don't
yeah.
trust.
Mhm.
going
Well,
to allow.
nobody,
Tylo.
you have not pursued any information about Tylo, so nobody did. So you don't know how connected Tylo is to
Would
Margarine.
make Toe
Tyler's
Taps our most
not-
viable option at the
We
I
also
feel
have to
like-
think about.
You don't know if Tylo's like
Well,
native
you
to
don't-
Cardos or native to somewhere else. Teelan mentioned that
What we know
Tylo
is
was
that
involved in the
Tylo
wars in the
is-
north.
But also,
But-
dedicated and very strictly following Teelan because I incited that.
So that's
basically
just-
the
whatever.
entire town.
you
So this
incited that
speaks to
she
Teelan.
you incited that she was dedicated to her duty. She's not. There was no implication that she's personally will do everything that Teelan says
There
or
could
do. It's just
also-
that it's her job. She'll
I
do her
worry
job.
that if we try to really force the Tylo situation on Grush, it would really
I
bring
feel like
up
that's
a
offensive
possible
and
ulterior
disrespectful.
I think there's
ulterior
a
motives
strong
for
assumption being
allowing
made in that Grush will
Keelan-
be informed of anything happening.
He should.
Keelan establishing his power. Like, what is it?
The entire
If we
town
get
respects toe taps in his opinion of Grush. Grush was elected
Uh,
by this town.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was a close election, if I remember correctly. If I remember informing you all. In
Between
fact,
Grush
when
and just toe taps
Yeah.
again.
between
Or-
Grush and his opponent, which you didn't ask
Oh.
about,
Oh.
and there were some people who were not in favor of Grush due to his young age and inexperience. However, with his connection through toe taps, was how he seemed to have claimed victory. In fact, when
Kylo running in the last election, so the opponent.
yeah, when you first met Grush, he mentioned that like the main reason why he wanted to tackle the kobolds by himself was just that like accepting help from an outside party would be a large point of criticism from the people who were not in favor of him.
Yeah,
so
so if Kylo's doing
accomplishing
it,
that would be wouldn't exactly win their favor, but it would prevent disfavor in a way.
I've made up my mind. Either we talk directly to Grush about the situation, or we drop it entirely.
I'm team toe taps.
I
TTT.
don't
It's not-
want to.
It's not fair to Grush to completely disregard him.
I agree with Penny. He won.
He's a living being. He
election.
deserves to be a
He-
part of this
Well, this was never a
conversation.
discussion of what's fair. If that's what we're going with, that's fine. But this was always an
Yeah,
argument
if we're taking a
about
utilitarian standpoint,
morality
here,
versus pragmatism here.
Then I
This was
choose
just about
morality.
There's a
whether or
lot of
not
big
we're going to
words
take
being
what
thrown
gets us the
around.
higher. Okay, that's fine. That's just
I guess we can look at this from an opportunity cost standpoint. What exactly are we losing out on?
that's the
if we
pragmatism
don't?
perspective. That would mean that we overthrow him in some manner.
We can. I can find
There
another
are
way in. to the
huge
Grimacon
tangible
library.
benefits to having Grush removed. Not only short term, but also long term.
Will we see any payoff from like allowing
don't.
Rush to like
We don't know.
blossom as a speaker?
You don't
We have
know.
No idea of knowing.
That's a risk. That is a risk that you have no insight onto because you're not. You don't. There's no like records or archive. Be like, okay, well, let's look at trends. Let's look at his history, and let's look at like what information we have now. It's like no, you can't predict that.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
say we
choose-
can bring, if we bring the situation up to toe tap, not bring the situation up to toe taps, but at least pick his brain about.
Just hit him with a hypothetical. Be like,
Rush.
hey, if somebody, say, named Brush was like in this situation, and there's this guy,
Thielen.
finger- finger taps,
Finger poke.
finger poke has this, raised him, and he was really good at this thing, but then this other guy, Bilo, just hit him with a hypothetical. I'm okay. Nona just loses interest and just starts drawing in the dirt. She's over this conversation. It's all
I mean-
going over her head.
It's my vote is we get together with both toe taps and Grush and we explain the situation. Whether or not what we choose to do about it, they deserve to know. They're respected leaders in this town. Maybe not by the whole town.
Toe taps was respected by everyone. Grush, not so much.
I feel like if
But
we
he
at the very
deserves to
least
know.
approach this from a diplomatic standpoint, we'll be avoiding a lot more enemies. I would be down to talk to
Yeah.
Grush about this.
You can either minimize enemies or maximize allies, but you can't have both.
I don't. I'm sorry, pal. I just don't trust Tilo's.
Penny, I just asked for everyone's opinion on this. I haven't.
And that's my opinion.
Well, you don't have to apologize. You're not going against anything. I didn't.
I know it's,
There's not-
just a force of habit. Sorry. Penny's
Sorry.
wringing her skirt a little bit. She's not.
Pal, stop yelling at her.
What the fuck, man?
So are you going to head back to Margarine?
We could probably get there before full sundown, right?
Yeah, is this the like?
Oh,
Well,
100%.
Is this
no, there's no
situation,
sundown
like,
at all.
Time, like,
Well,
is
yeah.
time a factor here? Like,
well,
considerable
you have to
Well,
decide before
Doing
the
it
council is called.
Two would be the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, before pre-council.
Technically, like, I would define as Act 2 starts whenever you go back to Lucky Fortune and you go to Dylan, okay, we're ready for the council meeting.
Yeah, that's your intermission.
Okay.
But yeah,
alright.
until then, you guys are free to type whatever loose ends or do whatever. But you guys come in
This
through...
would be the largest one that we currently know of. But,
Yes. This is the...
Well, it ties in with the Grimazon one, so I guess yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And this has long-term potential
Yeah.
implications.
Penny
yes.
has not made barely any progress on repairing the device either, so I
Yeah.
need to get into the Library of Grimazon because it's the only place left that has information that I could possibly use.
There is Grimazon, and then the notes. Yeah, basically, you could try to find some other way of reconstructing the notes that you gathered from Meredith about basically inversing the magical polarity of Almiron, which sounds very complicated and sounded out of your field, essentially, Penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
you guys-
information that I can get would be good.
You guys approach the gate, which ironically called Toe Tap's Gate because you come in from the east, and you stride through town. Is there any way you specifically wish to go?
Might as well find Grush. I'm sure he'll be able to find toe taps. We haven't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can head back to this was like a good 20 or 30 minutes after Grush had left you. You guys were sort of chatting. And Grush will open the door and be like,
Hold on. Before we do that, I just want before we open the room and
Sure.
All right. So there's not just really clear. We can't go back on this. If we go through this and there isn't some resolution through these two that results in them cooperating, then we do not gain assisted access to Grimazon.
Noted. They're
That's
humanoids, right?
No magic.
If we were gonna kill them,
No
we'd just kill
magic.
them. We wouldn't
Raising my hands in the air. No magic. Never
Yeah.
mind.
what you don't see is that within his chest he's crossing some fingers. On my word.
That we are fully clear
I'm aware.
either way. on
I
what
mean,
we're
if you
doing here
if you
and the
still want
consequences.
the reward, you could kill them afterwards. But,
Yeah,
uh,
no, that's what
nuclear-
I'm saying. There's no
nuc-
peaceful
nuclear
resolution.
option.
You can either do peaceful deceit or aggressive is the other option, essentially.
I mean, you could also
If
do
it's
the good old
I'm
social
saying if it's-
manipulation. Try some other
I'm saying,
route.
like,
Yeah.
if this. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
This
want
is
to lie to them.
This is the only diplomatic way. There are plenty non-violent ways to go about this, though. That depends on how far you're willing to bend your ethics. You know.
If you make a white lie about this, there is a grander thing at play here. Other than her feelings, there are lives on the line.
That's. Yep.
Okay. All right. Now that you guys have established that, you
Now we will. Yeah.
go to the door, knock on it. Grush will open it. He seems to have, although you still see the same token out, he has changed into more casual attire for the evening. No longer wearing like his pauldron or his ornaments, and he just goes, the potential messengers. A long time no see, right? Don't worry about it. You hear a voice go, "It's still not funny. You do that all the time.
Oh, it's kind of funny.
Don't encourage him." And he's like, "Yeah, that's the old man."
So sorry, sir.
That may be convenient. If now is a good time, we need to talk to you and Toe Taps at your earliest convenience.
Oh, he's like,
It's
"Well, we just had supper, so yes, it's quite convenient actually. We're plenty free to have a sit down if need be.
All right.
Please enter," and he'll guide you into his slightly humble abode. It's compact but still like house, but still enough room for someone like Grush, for those with stature like Grush or Pal to maneuver about. There are some furniture that's built for like really large builds, and then there's some furniture for really small builds, because also in the sort of like living room area is a halfling, Torn Toe Taps, who like standing next to like Grush takes a seat in like an armchair next to Toe Taps, who seems to be like sitting in sort of just like on a stool reading a small book and just sort of like closes it as you all approach. And although they look nothing alike, they do carry sort of like a father-son energy to them. And he goes, "So, you're the guests that my boy's been telling me about, yeah?"
Hopefully in good terms, but yes.
Oh yeah, he has nothing but good things to say about everyone. Learn to raise your standards a bit, you know?
Hey, wait.
I'll take no offense to that.
I don't know you. Why would like?
Noah takes a little offense to that.
He's disrespecting you now.
It was
Disrespectful.
pretty disrespecting.
So, I guess to cut to it,
Thank
we're
you.
bringing this to you just in the interest of full transparency. The speaker of Kardos, Teelan, now they have tasked us with basically they want Grush removed from power for the upcoming. It seems there's going to be something large, and we were tasked with that.
You'll see Grush like sort of friendly demeanor just sort of like become more and more stoic. Like he begins leaning on like one knee, like elbow on the knee, like fist covering his mouth as he just seems to be like deep in thought. And Teelan, Torin just sort of like this was like rocking or bouncing from side to side on his stool, just thinking for a moment, just sort of like bouncing to like a rhythm.
We've been told directly it's not a matter of your character, but simply the experience. It seems that it is Teelan's belief that it is going to be a trying time for the region, and he would like somebody of more experience to be in power for that. The options that he gave us directly were toe taps yourself, and I'll gesture to the toe taps, or his assistant, Tylo.
Make a persuasion check, pal.
Alright. I am not good at those, but we will see what happens. 8. Ooh,
Oh.
that. Why do you
Lucky?
guys make horrible
Lucky?
reactions? Does they get anything 2 from 10? That's it's
Lucky.
Lucky? Yeah, sure.
An 8?
Yeah, roll again.
Yeah, roll again.
Okay. Well, I
Jeez.
guess
Oh.
wait.
That's a perception.
So just hold on, just
Oh.
change the modifier.
It should be
So
14.
it's 6 lower, 17.
17.
Oh yeah, and no percent. No. Cameron's
No.
right. Cameron's
It's
right.
14. You get no bonus. It's a minus
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And that means I get to make a quirky little fate roll. Which was this.
Mm.
And they'll go. Grush will sort of lift his head from his fist, and then look down to Tor and be like, "So, should I take it, or will you?" And Torin go, "Go on, you give your answer first, and then I'll give mine." And he's like, Grush will go, I am deeply grateful for you. First of all, I would like to say I'm incredibly grateful that you've been forthright and brought this to me, without an air of deceit.
I didn't want to lie to you after what you said to me at the cave.
But after considering all your concerns there, my answer will have to be, and then Torm will pipe up and go, "Hell no! Fuck that!"
Let's go!
He's like, if he can't handle it, he's gonna learn to handle it. Fuck this. I'm tired. I ain't taking up that position. No one, I'm gonna take up that position on the word of Teelan, Mr. Sharp Mind.
Yeah!
Who the fuck calls himself Sharp Mind?
Yeah, you tell him. He won't even.
And
hear us.
Grush is just like, Pops, there are children here. He's like,
No,
he's like, you've been when you're around as long as I am, you can tell these people have ripped like life limb from limb at this point. They're old enough. See,
killed
for
so
that one,
many.
he's like, see, and Grush is just like, I see. Well, yes, that is that is our answer. Respectfully, we'll have to
That's
decline
essentially what we
the
expect.
offer.
Take this as a warning. mind you, we were not told to necessarily use peaceful methods. Just be aware of whatever Teelan may have planned should there be other people that he sends besides us.
It's like,
Personally, we'd like to remain in your good graces.
it's like I can handle myself just fine. Although you probably haven't seen me in action, I do handle myself quite fine.
There's always greater numbers. Please be careful.
Of course.
As much as I want to be completely happy with this, we are giving up something that I wanted by telling you this. Teelan promised us assistance into getting into the library in Grimazon that's currently being held alongside the speaker. Well, held or protected or denied. And by telling you this, we kind of gave away our opportunity. Is there anything you guys can do to help us persuade or get in? He's looking between both of them.
Torn will be like, well, yeah, I sent word. I tried to contact Corbin. I thought he was being all uppity, but, like, I definitely knew something was up. But in terms of, like, what I got, no, I ain't got much. And Grush will be like, I'll put some feelers out for some potential means, but I'm afraid on hand, no, well, we don't exactly have anything. That immediately comes to mind.
Okay.
In all likelihood,
apologies.
they're still going to be making an attempt. Just be aware of that, I guess. I don't know.
Very well.
I hear the separate towns in the region aren't terribly intertwined.
Yes, there's been conflict in the past, I've been told, though. I assume most of the more bloodier conflicts are behind us now. Torn just sort of snort and go like, yeah, they better be. That shit sucked.
Fucking hope so.
Yeah, I fucking hope we got that out of our system.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Grush, that we lied to you a little earlier.
He's like, hey, you didn't really even lie all that much. You kind of just omitted information, so we'll call it even. You omitted information and then you granted out information. I'll call that fairsies.
Yeah, Penny let her shoulders relax a bit.
He'll give a toothy grin.
Okay, I think that's everything we had. Sorry to bother you after
He's like,
such a long day.
He's like, hey, it's hardly a bother. Like I said, I just ate. I'm just a little tired, but other than that, it's not much. I was just gonna recline for the day, maybe go through some papers. It's a welcome distraction.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Penny's gonna like look at everyone else, being like, "We good?"
I think we're good.
I'll give a nod.
Go like very well. He'll guide you back out of the house, and wave you away and be like, once again, thank you for your kindness and generosity. You've shown real character. And he'll give you just another nod, that will extend to a bow before closing the door. And you guys are left out, on the streets of Margarine. It is approaching nighttime. I'm assuming you guys will find rest in a tavern.
Yeah, probably.
And that is where we'll pick up next time. Did you guys enjoy that session?
Yeah.
What do you guys plan on doing next?
Probably heading to Grimazon and trying our hand there.
Storm the gates! Storm the gates!
I am still not sure what the full plan's gonna be for that.
This is more personal for me, but my plan is to get Penny's notebook.
Yeah, you're free during after any long rest. You can just DM me and say I'm gonna try and steal Penny's notebook, and you'll just have to roll me a sleight of hand.
I will try and get a general gist of what is in there before next session. Then
yeah.
I had an idea for a couple things, and Pal saw the very basic level of it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that. Forgot.
But yeah, did you guys enjoy that session at least?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Send it to my.
I liked putting a one would consider it almost a political conflict in the campaign.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good.
Yeah.
It's cool having the different like goals and thought processes and alignments kind of clash a bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Creates fun moments. Because Penny, for his uninterested she is with magic, respects people's autonomy. Especially after what Grush said literally outside of the Kobold Cave. Like, they deserve to be talked to. They're living beings. It's like Penny was like,
How does that not conflict with Penny's necromancy?
they're
Well,
not
they're
living.
not living.
Ah.
The bones are just a conduit for me to put on my own
They're
my
just
own artificial
objects.
soul in. She's still trying to grapple with the fact that Bert is a real soul. We're getting to that.
Yeah.
But the ones that she makes, they're crude. They're artificial. They could possibly be imbued with a real soul, and that might make them stronger, but Penny does not have that capability at this point. At least that's how I view her. That's how she grapples with it. How if she's ever gonna get over that hurdle, that's another thing. Because a lot of necromancy, when you get more powerful, starts throwing morals out the window.
Well, good session, I guess.
Yeah.
Fun, yeah.
Hope you guys had fun. Yeah,
How
depending
many
on
sessions are we on without combat? This is
yeah,
first for us.
depending on how you guys handle whenever you go to Grimazon, it might go from like 5 sessions with no combat to 5 sessions of straight combat. We'll see.
For you guys, it was like 4 sessions. For me and Chris,
I was about to
it
say,
has
because you guys.
been,
To be fair, I didn't really do much in that combat. I just kind of put my skeletons in there, and they missed 4
I
shots.
think since us, because the last fight we had before that was like when we all leveled up to level 5, I think.
Mm.
You have
So,
had
for
the
that-
option of combat quite
Right.
often, but you guys
For me,
choose different.
It's been 11 sessions.
Yeah, you.
We're getting better.
Jeez,
I
yeah.
haven't gotten to use any of my new abilities since June.
Yeah,
So
So
If-
4 months.
Barbarian
Over 4
problems.
months.
yeah. If you don't, yeah.
Classic problem.
If you don't choose to engage
You
in physical conflict, if you want to be good people, guess what?
Think-
That means a lot less combat. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 months, over 4 months with no combat.
Yeah.
Every time
We
you're
are
using
also-
cool new things.
We're also playing like twice a month during a bunch
That's
of
true.
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
But that's still 11 sessions.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying this a lot.
Yeah.
I know it's
I'm
because I'm
having
playing a
fun.
non-combat oriented class.
But
But
I also want to use my stuff.
Well, guess what? You're going somewhere next. That might be this red square, this red circle over here.
Combat.
You
I
guys
know,
can,
I'm excited.
you guys
I
can
got-
try a non-physical conflict sort of
I'm
way.
ready to fight. I have subclass stuff I want to use.
All right, then you're free to do so. But if yeah,
I
so
love violence.
yeah,
yeah,
if you
have a couple notes, we did
you
get
want
a
violence.
glimpse of the inside of the compound, and I do have a couple notes about what's where. Nothing like people-wise, but like entrances and exits.
Yes.
What's in there?
But yeah, that seems to be one of the last things you guys will do before heading back to Lucky Fortune. You could swing by Hole of Ismet on the way up.
That's a long walk.
It's a boat ride from Grimazon to Delphine, Hole of Ismet.
We're basically just going back around the same way we just
Yeah.
went.
Basically, that's what
On
happened.
the other side.
One more
To the
way.
other side. But yeah.
You can go see Mr. Plash Murmur on your way back.
Yeah, Penny is interested in the whole of Ismet, but yeah. Also, I think I've nailed down, Leo, the thing I DM'd you about. I just need to type it up. And
Sure.
I'll probably do that today.
Feel free to DM me any stuff you nail down about your character, what they want. I will say,
I've got a long-term goal that I'm gonna DM you to.
Act 2 is a bit more combat focused. Act 1 was supposed to be like the introduction act,
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like we're trying
Like-
to figure out everything about where we are,
Yeah.
and what the problem is,
Yeah.
and then the problem is going to present itself.
Yeah, the goal of Act 1 was, hey, you guys are in a setting, feel free to explore a setting, introduce yourself to its environments and locals, and see what's up. Act 2 is like, hey, we're going to inject something into the setting, and now react.
I'm going to inject something into you.
Oh, God.
Whoa!
Not here, not here.
But yeah,
Holiday play.
looking forward to that. And I do plan on updating the alignment chart at the beginning of Act 2. See where you guys land.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Exciting.
fun times. Thank you for DMing, Wheel.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
As
Good
always.
session.
I promise combat will come eventually.
Honestly, my favorite thing to do is just make Leo fucking RP with himself.
Yeah,
for half
I
the
like that a
session.
lot.
It's unironically very fun.
Yeah.
Walking nearby
Even though we do it a
towers.
lot unintentionally.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, I can like. There are options.
He said he wanted to do it himself.
Yeah,
True.
and you guys never do what I want you to. Why this time?
Because we're good. Smile.